Check one, check two, check one, check two. What is going on? Welcome out. Wake up in Cleveland on this fine Tuesday afternoon. For some of you, for a lot of you, like myself, it is Tuesday morning. It's about almost 9:30 in the morning. And well, it's always early. No matter how much I try to not make it early, it's early for me. So I've been getting up a little later than I should. I'm going to be honest with you because, well, I've been sleeping. So I've been getting up and then I've been forcing myself to take a shower because it seems to, rejuvenate me a little bit. So that's what I've been doing. And have to have a little bit of breakfast. Have to have a little bit of Gatorade. Nothing's open, so you might actually see me eat on camera today. I have my water. I got my Gatorade. No product placement. Nobody's giving me any money. And I have I got my bread with a little bit of turkey bacon. I don't eat regular turkey. I don't eat pork. So I have to enjoy the turkey bacon life. I cut out pork years ago. And well, sometimes I miss it. I'm not going to lie to you. Turkey bacon is good, but it's not the same as full fat pork bacon. It'll never be the same. Or specifically, it'll never, ever be as good as pepperoni. I don't care how close turkey pepperoni comes to it. Beef pepperoni is God's food. Honestly. I do miss having a pepperoni pizza. I haven't had a pepperoni pizza in years. That was a very sad day for me. But besides that, no more pork. So turkey bacon that's the life we're living right now. So today we have a special guest. Yesterday we had on DJ Bar. If you didn't see it. For the people on YouTube, you can catch the replay right on the chat. Right on the channel. For anybody else. Since I didn't use any music last time, well, it's actually accessible on both Twitch and Facebook. I think what I'm going to end up doing, however, is I'm going to cut out. I might make the replay subscriber only. I haven't really figured it out, but that might be the option for me. Also today, because I couldn't do it yesterday, like I said before, I got right off this call. Had another meeting, had some family stuff to attend to. So I'm going to post that to my podcast, which I haven't actually done yet. So that's going to be a first for me is doing that podcast. Today, let's check the chat here. Let's see who's on. Today we actually have a special guest. We have DJ Rachel Lynch in the house. So we're going to be doing that in a little bit. I do have to send her a message to make sure she's up for it because, sometimes people say yes, and then and then they get the notification and they're like, "Oh, was that today? Oh, I'm not ready. So it is what it is. Hank Harmon on the YouTube asks, "Is this cocktail music?" No, it is the background music because this is a talk show, and if you weren't here yesterday. What I said before was we're gonna hold off for this particular show on doing a lot of DJing because once I start DJing with commercial music, I fall into the I can't monetize it. That's the bottom line. So if I'm gonna do all this work, if I'm gonna dedicate it all this time to you guys, to helping you, to being around. I should at least be able to, to maximize the effort that I'm making here. So we're going to be playing non-commercial music. Now, here's the thing, and I'm going to post this later on today. If you know of any artist, or if you're an artist yourself, and you want your music played, and you don't have any type of ASCAP or BMI, like you're just a producer trying to kind of get yourself known. Send it my way. Send me the links, whatever, and we'll play it on here. Like I said before, it's not about not playing good music. It's about playing music that's not going to get me demonetized. So let everybody know. Let everybody know if you have stuff, if you want stuff, if you're a producer, if you're an artist, let's put it on there. And then we can also sit back. We can take a listen to it. We can critique it maybe if you're up for it. And, go from there. Just make sure it's clean. As clean as possible. We're not trying to do, hardcore rock or hardcore rap. So just, if you got that, throw it my way. Okay. So before we go any further, I do need to send Miss Rachel a message because I want to make sure she's ready. So hang tight while I do this. Just want to make sure she's cool. She said she was. And obviously, she's not going to be on for another half hour or so, but I still want to make sure. Oh, for the people, hey, 90s production is dope too. I don't have a problem with 90s production. Hold on, of course, I literally just forgot my train of thought, and it'll come back in just a second. Let me go to my messages. All right, there we go. By the way, for everybody that's in here right now, as we always do every single morning, sound off in the chat. Let me know where you're coming from. Let me know what you're doing this fine morning / afternoon. And, let's go from there. When are we morning? Oh, she already texted me. When are we waking up? It literally at 9:31, she asked the exact same question. So, see, that's the thing about Rachel. Rachel is a professional, like in every sense of the word. I've never met a more professional person than her. She just kills it every time. Okay, so let me pull up this message here and let's get her linked up so she knows what's going on. All right. Okay. So, message sent to her. So, she's dope. She's good. Perfect. Now, let's check out this chat. Let's check out how we're doing in this chat. But I can't lie though. The music is a vibe. So, for a lot of people, maybe they want to be like completely up and like banging and ready to go. And, I need some pick me up music. Well, that's not this particular channel today in the morning anyway. In the afternoons, when I do DJ and when I have my pop-up shows on Twitch, those are the times when I DJ where I'll be playing commercial music and I don't care that it gets demonetized, but for these types of things, I do care. Any Mama Slim asks, any genre of music? Yes. Any genre of music, I'm cool. Just send it my way and we'll go from there. All right, let's check out the chat. DJ Dell in the house. DJ S1 Wiley. Thank you so much for that compliment. What you're going to see is probably over the next couple of days, weeks, there will be more and more that kind of just pop up. The intros just happen, and I'm just working it out, trying to deliver, my own vibe, but keeping it simple yet technical, so I'm gonna continue to upgrade and continue to add things to the show because that's what I'm about. I always take a look at what I do and then go from there. So if I look at it, I'm like, that's cool. It works. Most people don't care. It's fine, but I care. So I'm always constantly building. If I'm moving into new segues, you're going to see new storylines, new things. Like all of these things are always going to happen just because that's just the way I work. So, So anyway, the DJ bar episode was dope. Yeah, my man Bar, he got on super last minute. I literally just texted him like, hey, are you available? And he was like, yeah, I just need 15 minutes and I'm ready to go. So that's my man right there. Bar is a dope individual. And, you know, what's cool about Bar, and I think we talked about it during the show, is with Bar, what you see is what you get. You know, there's like not this secret guy that nobody sees when he's not on camera. You know, he is who he is, and you got to respect that. And maybe that's, I kind of gravitate towards people like that because, well, I'm like that. You know, what you see is what you get. I don't try to pretend to be something I'm not, because that's silly. I've been on Earth too long to try to be somebody else now. At some point, you really should figure out who you are and, you know, be that person. At some point in your life, I don't know the age range of all the people in the chat here or all the people that are watching, but at some point, you have to realize that it's never about what the world thinks of you. It's always about what you think of you. And the more you're comfortable in your own skin, the more you're going to be comfortable in life. The more productive you're going to be when without the fear of, oh my God, if I do this, what are people going to think? Or if I'm myself, are people not going to like the way I really am? And that's the kind of thing that you have to work through. You know, I know who I am. I am sarcastic. I'm opinionated. I'm stubborn. You know, I'm all of these things. And for some people, it's going to be too much. But for other people, they're like, hey, you know, we know who you are. We like who you are as a person, and we know what to expect. And that's the key. It allows me to continue to be normal without trying to impress people. Now, don't get me wrong. You know, I'm not going to walk into like a business meeting and be an asshole. Like, that's just silly. You know, but I am still going to be me. The people who I talk to, when people ask me questions, I'm going to be honest. And some people don't like to hear honesty. That's just a fact. You know, and I don't know what it is. It could have been the song that I just chose, but man, this is like linking up perfectly. And I wasn't trying to do that, but let's get out of that because that's a little too, too much. Okay. T Diesel in the house. What is going on? DJ Dell. What is going on? I am DJ Voyage. Boston in the house representing. DJ Jesse. Good morning. That is right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. And 9 Iron back in the house. You get that lift in already. DJ D Diesel. Yeah, good. I mean, some people do choose turkey as just a health option, and I respect that. Jesse Lou says bacon, bacon, bacon. Yeah, bacon is good. Bacon is good. Ryan in the house. Ryan, aka LK. I don't think I've seen you before. Welcome out. Appreciate it. I like chicken bacon and beef bacon. I've never had chicken bacon. That sounds weird. That sounds just like overcooked chicken. Not so much bacon, just burnt chicken, which I do like. I do like some crispy chicken, but I've never had chicken bacon. I've had beef bacon. That's what they use for like pepperoni and stuff, for fake pepperoni. We have Elite 1212. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. And 9 Iron will be doing that in 2021. Yep, exactly. What do we have here? Jazzy Lou. Jam B in the house on the YouTube side. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Neely Wheelie in the house, of course, afternoon. Welcome out, fam. Good to see you. And anybody else new that's popping up? Cronenberg, the DJ. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. Jesse, San Bernardino. Oh, God. At a work break. Okay. Thanks for hanging out. Chattanooga. That's Chattanooga. What is that? Tennessee? Cronenberg. Dope. And I have CC the number 1. I think that's what that says. It's 1831 in Germany. So 1831 what is that? 3, that's 6:30. 6:30 in Germany. Dope. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Boston from I Am DJ Voyage. DJ Mello Gardena. Always Gardena. Cool. Let me get something. I think I'm going to need to, I'm definitely going to need to adjust the songs that are in my vlog music folder because they're starting to bring me down a little bit. I can't lie. Hank Harriman, just to what does it say? Just to stick to Hank. Oh, okay. That's fine. From the Netherlands over here, 1832. All right. So same thing. You're hanging out with my other guy. 31 degrees. Now, I cannot convert Celsius. That's the one thing I can't. So I've converted, military time, but Celsius, 31 degrees could be 470 degrees in America for all I know. I don't. Is it a double? You double it? Is it like a third? Like, I don't know how to convert that because it's definitely not 60. I mean, it could be 62 degrees over there. I don't know. Let me know. DJ Dell in Detroit, what is going on? Mama Funk Music. Hey, I'm good with anything. Fidel, thank you so much, man. Appreciate that. If you can't, obviously people on a podcast can't hear this. It says, Cleveland Terry and Bar give some of the most down-to-earth and informative DJ content. Thank you. That's what we try. Dahlia Wilk, what is going on? Good to see you. Neely Willie, thank you so much. I'm just going through all the chats and then we'll get to talking here. DJ Sal, man, I come here for good music and DJ tips. Now getting life tips. Haha, thanks, Cleveland Terry. This should be a motivational Monday. Look, yeah, if you're on this show, if you're watching this show, if you're watching any of this, you're going to get, you're potentially going to get some life tips. That's the overbearing side of me. Sorry. I'm going to speak my mind. That's kind of why we're on here right now anyway, right? I mean, when I did the show yesterday, and it was the first time I decided that I was not going to play commercial music. Okay, got a little drum and bass happening. I wasn't going to play commercial music, and could I talk for 2 hours in one sitting without DJing? And well, yesterday we went for a little over 3 hours. And I wasn't expecting that. Honestly, I wasn't expecting 3 hours. But I can talk. That's a fact. I wouldn't be doing this if I couldn't. Could you imagine if I couldn't talk and I was like, welcome to the show. In about another 25 minutes, we got DJ Rachel Lynch on. So, about that new Rain 12. I mean, think about that. That would be a silly show. I don't think you guys would stick around for that show. I could be wrong, but I don't think you could stick around for that show. I think you'd find some other place to be on a Tuesday morning. We got Ang, also Dune from Kuwait. Hey man, I really appreciate you hanging out from Kuwait. I asked you before, and I don't know if you answered, maybe you didn't see it. What is the weather like in Kuwait right now? Is it hot and humid? Is it like super cold? Is it snowing? It is the thing. They actually do get they get snow sometimes. I was watching this show on Netflix, and it was talking about it was almost like a 6 degrees of separation, and they were talking about the connection between all the weather in the world, and how certain things like salt and bone, and it's a long story, but basically like Middle Eastern winds pick up certain key biological remnants, and they blow them into the rainforest, all the way to the rainforest, and then the rainforest then takes that and uses that as nutrients, because there's not enough real nutrients in the actual rainforest, even though it's lush and green and all of these things. And then because of that, that shoots off things, and then that hits somewhere else. Like, it's the ecosystem is amazing when you really sit back and you look at these types of things, you know, and then they wonder, then they have the nerve to be like, oh man, you know, there's no such thing as global warming. I mean, everything impacts everything. So it's pretty impressive when you watch those shows. If I can remember the show on Netflix where I saw that, because I couldn't believe it, you know, because they were talking about, like, they were in the Sahara Desert, and there were like skeletons and remnants and all of these things. When the winds pick up and blow, they've tracked it as far as, like, you know, 500 miles away. Like, it's insane, you know, what they'll find. You know, like the Sahara Desert blows all these things, and it ends up in, like, I think it's like the Pacific Sea or something like that. And they have these meters that track all of this biological stuff, just buoys sitting in the ocean. Like, it's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. All right. Enough of my nerding out here. Jeet from Chicago, welcome out. Chicken sausage is good. Neely Willy. I don't really like sausage. And I know that's a thing for some people, but I don't like the texture of sausage. I don't like the little bits and pieces of, I don't know what they are, but they're not soft and they're chewy and chunky. Like, I don't know. Is that bone? Is that marrow? Like, I don't know what's in there, but it's not for me. Rat Bone in the house. What's going on, fam? Good to see you. Scott Scoho, representing, obviously, Scott Sco from Scojo. That's an easy place to be in. Okay. All right. Efren, what is going on? We got DJ Max. We got Spin. Oh, look, Spinatonics in. Good to see you from Vancouver. Good to see you. Did you subtract 12 in your head? I still have to do that. No, I don't. When I do military time, I don't subtract 12. In all honesty, and this is seriousness. The only reason why I know exactly where it's going to be is because I used to work a swing shift, and they did do it by military time. And on a swing shift, 1,500 hours is 3 o'clock. So I literally do the math from there. I mean, I know what 1,200 hours is, obviously, and that's easy to calculate all the way up to 15. But when you start to get to like 16 and 17, I always start at 15 and then work the math up. Yeah, everybody's got their way. You know, let's do this autoplay here. Okay. All right. Dahlia Wick again from South Africa. Hey, DJ Levi. Good to meet you, pal. Good to meet you. What's the weather like in South Africa? We got 9 Iron again. Solid. I'm just going through. Sonic FM. Are you using a green screen? If so, why? Sonic. Yeah, I am using a green screen because I don't have a black wall behind me. And I just wanted to have something that has a little more focus than kind of everything that is behind me. It may change. And also because I can do little things like change up the dynamics like this. And now I have my company logo right behind me. Can't do that without a green screen. So that is why I am using a green screen. Hopefully it's to your liking. Okay, Mama Slim's going to break it down for me. To convert temperatures in degrees into Fahrenheit to Celsius, subtract 32 and multiply by 0.556. No. No. I need a way to get that number like just from my head, not from, a calculator. I need something easier. So Neely Wheely says 30C is 88 Fahrenheit. Okay. So it's almost times 3 is basically what we're saying. It's almost okay. So 30, 90, close enough. I think I'm okay with that. Okay. That works. See, okay. Yeah, because 32 is 90. That makes sense. Perfect. I can do that. I can work those numbers. Look, I don't need to be exact. I never need to be exact. I just need to be around the area just like everything else. Sonic, I think I asked that question, but it's never that I'm overlooking questions. It's always because I'm always delayed when I answer questions because I need a true moderator. I got to figure out. I got to look at some of these people on Twitch and then assign some moderation here. I would assign it to T Diesel, but I'm afraid. It is Tech Tuesday. We're going to be talking tech. So just to be clear, when we talk tech, it's not necessarily coming from me. These questions are related to you guys. So Tech Tuesday means everything. Everything. All right, what else do we have here? Marcus. Oh, Marcus Franklin. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you all the way on the YouTube side. I think I'm catching up. We got XX7 obviously in the house. What is going on? Thanks for seeing you again. And let's see. Fidel says the stuff about the Sahara dust are facts. It also helps to block hurricanes from becoming powerful. Take it from someone who lives in the islands. See, man. See, I say stuff. See, I always have factual information. Now, it could be slightly wrong, miscalculated, because I watch a lot, but I do retain a lot of information. So thank you, Fidel. I appreciate that. I need some more of that in here, that you know what you're talking about stuff. Okay, so what is going on? J Book in the house representing. That's fam right there. Make sure you follow J Book. Rhett Brewer, what is happening? Cut it in half and add 32. What kind of mystical magic is this? Cut it in half and then add 32. That's weird. So subtract 60 to get Celsius. Look, you guys have given me 17 different ways to get to the number. Didn't they teach? You know, when you go to school and everybody's like, okay, how do you do your ABCs? And like, well, this is how you do it. Okay, well, how do you use, I before E except that, okay, this is how you do it. Like, there's only usually one rule, not 42 rules. So it seems like they just left it to you guys. It's like the metric system. They're like, well, you should just do the metric system. Yeah, but we don't do metric here. Yeah, but you should. Well, how do I calculate it? It doesn't matter. Do the metric system. Like, they don't even try. Like, I got to Google metric stuff all the time because of that. Puggy Boy in the house. What is going on? All right, let's get back up to this. There was a couple of questions up here. Okay, from Neely Willie. Let's see what he says. Okay, Neely, we have Neely Wheelie, even though it's Willie, but Neely Wheelie feels like it should go together. Neely Willie. That's weird. What have you learned about the craft or equipment of DJing from streaming, Twitch in particular? That's an interesting question. What have I learned about the craft or equipment? God, that's I don't know that Twitch has anything to do with it per se. I think when you're DJing for Twitch, the thing you should probably know is that people aren't necessarily watching you on Twitch because you play pop music. That's the one thing maybe you should think about is the kind of choices you make when you do these things, because, well, look, I can't speak for everybody, okay? But for me, when I get on, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, the majority of my people happen to be DJs. So that's a little bit of an issue, and there's nothing I can do about that. It is what it is. But the majority of my people happen to be DJs, so they're always looking at my stuff a little differently than, like, say, cousin Julie or somebody off the road that's not a DJ would look at my stuff. So I have to look at it a little differently than maybe somebody else does. But even that being said, just stay away from popular music. Stay away from the stuff that you're going to play at every wedding or every bar mitzvah or every corporate event, because they hear that. They're done with that. So if you want to keep people entertained, give them stuff they don't know. Just don't do this. Just please. and I mean this. I honestly mean this. Don't play bizarre remixes of tracks just because you need to. Keep the soul of the song. Now, if it's so different that it's a complete remix and you want to drop that, okay. But don't just play remixes just because. There's nothing more frustrating than that. Okay? Nothing. Yeah. But equipment-wise, look, from DJing Twitch, what you learn real quickly is that a lot of equipment has special needs when it comes to Twitch. So if you're using OBS, maybe some of the equipment that you have may not work with OBS, or maybe the channels are so high, like for instance, even with the Rain 70 or the Elite Reloop, they broadcast their audio at like 11 and channels 11 and 12, things that by default OBS can't see. So you have to change it to a surround sound channel. So instead of going stereo out, you got to go 7.1 so it can pick up those channels that it couldn't pick up before. And I found, first off, it's annoying when you look at OBS and you see like all of these channels just like lined up, filling up your whole spot. It's annoying, and I don't think it sounds as good. I really don't. I think that there's something about it pulling it from the other channels, and now they're having to like duplicate, and then you got to run it in mono. Like the whole thing is just silly. So that's what I've learned. Not every system is built correctly, which is why I have literally like 5 different ways to output sound on Twitch, whether it be spin stream, which I use all the time, or now that I'm using the A10 Mini Pro, I have to go out of my RCAs into the A10 Mini Pro, or I have to use one of my inboxes for something that my inbox was actually the first one I used when I realized that the Rain couldn't be used, or I didn't like it, that it was going in 7.1. So I went through my inbox, and then after I got spin stream, I didn't have to use my inbox. And then after I got the A10, I no longer use spin stream. But there's always a place for it. You know, if I take my controller outside because I want to do something different and cool or whatever, then I'm going to have to pop up spin stream because I can't bring my A10 everywhere I go. So there's always things that you have to account for with your Twitch streams. I think that the most important part of Twitch streams are just making sure your visuals look up, making sure your sound is good. You know, people will say, well, the sound is all that matters. You know what? I don't think so. Not on Twitch, because if the sound is good, but you're lagging like crazy, you know, or you're distorted or you're pixelated, people, sure, if they just want to turn on the radio and hear music being DJ'd, yeah, they can turn on Twitch. And by the way, for people that don't know, if you're on Twitch, you definitely can turn it on in the background. Okay, so you don't have to keep Twitch on. You can turn on in the background and let it play like you could do with YouTube if you have their premium account. But Twitch is free. You just have to select it in the settings of the Twitch account, and yeah, you can play it in the background. Although it's not very smooth. It's weird. When you go out of that into like another application or the desktop on your phone, there's a distinct pause. And when you go back into it, there's a distinct pause. So I think they really should improve that, because like YouTube is flawless. I pay for the premium. I can hop in and out like that. No issues whatsoever. So that's the one thing I don't like, especially if I'm like trying to Shazam somebody. And because, hey man, look, I Shazam. I'm not trying to lie to people. Shazamming is good, especially for stuff that I haven't heard before. Like, I'm not trying to Shazam somebody's set list, but if there's a new track that's banging, I want it. And there's not a lot of things out there for people to play. So if I go to Shazam sometimes, I'll go to the desktop and open up Shazam, and not only will it not play, it'll just kind of sit in this limbo, and now there's dead air, so you can't hear anything. It's just dumb. So having your camera be decent, not amazing. Like, it doesn't have to be this Panasonic G9 or anything else, but it's got to be of decent quality, because when I'm on and I look at your stuff, if you're pixelated and kind of gross and janky, I'm probably not going to stay on your channel. I don't care how good the sound is. I don't care how good your DJing is. It's just, it's a visual medium. You know, if you turned on your football game and your football game, the sound was fine, but remember the old school squiggly lines, like when you were trying to watch adult movies on your old TVs and the parents had the channel blocked, but there was squiggly lines everywhere, but you could still hear it, but it was squiggly lines. So you had to kind of morph your eyeballs to kind of do the squiggliness to try to catch a boob shot. Yeah, that's what this is. And that's not fun. So just hop off and turn on your mobile app for some of those channels. Okay. Back to this. Okay. Dropping down. Skip ahead here. Okay. Let's see. DJ Siberia. Dope name, by the way. DJ Siberia asks, what are your thoughts about the Denon Prime 2? On the fence about getting one since I don't want to buy a new laptop. Okay. So I like the Denon Prime 2. I do. I don't have an issue with Denon Prime 2. It's a great board. My only issue with the Denon Prime 2 is that it seems to have sacrificed a lot of the things that make the Denon Prime 4 so enticing. Besides the fact that the Denon Prime 4 is just a little big. And having said that, I got one being sent to me from Denon like in the next few days. Another one after my review. But the Denon Prime 4 can be a little big. Now I used it, took it everywhere, never really had an issue, but I never put it in a case. That's going to make that thing super big because it's such a deep controller. But a lot of the things that they have in it, like the zone outs and just a couple of different features, are not on the Prime 2. And it kind of bothers me. Now the difference is the size is so good for the Prime 2 that I can't just say, no, it's not a good controller. That you sacrifice a little bit of size or you give away a little size for a little more convenience. So there's nothing wrong with the Prime 2. It's a good controller, especially if you're having trouble with your computer. Now, if you're having trouble with your computer and you're thinking about, I don't want to buy a new one, just do the math. Cost-wise, it's going to cost you a lot more to buy a new computer than to buy a Prime 2. But now you have more options with that computer. So there's a lot of different things. The Denon Prime system, the series, is fully capable of being your go-to DJ solution without having a computer. You still need to have something because you need to be able to transfer music over, but it's definitely a go-to. I have a Denon Prime Go, and I love it. And they just put the new update in, which allows you to download your music from Dropbox. There's a lot of new features that Denon's coming up with that are making it really hard to argue against it. I think that's the key. But still, just keep in mind that the Prime 2, even if you want to use your computer, does not support Serato yet. I know they talked about it, but it's not there yet. I don't know about Virtual DJ. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if that one's opened up because Virtual DJ does different things to get people. They don't ever ask for permission. Virtual DJ just does things on their own, and you just have to deal with it. Like when BeatSource Link came out, and I have a relationship with BeatSource, and they were like, yeah, we want to show you how it is on Rekordbox. Cool. Check it out. Test it out. Did that. And then they're like, okay, well, it's going to be coming out on Serato soon. So just keep an eye on that. We'll do a review, blah, blah, blah. Fine. And I'm talking to my guy at BeatSource, and I said, hey, I saw that you guys put it out on Virtual DJ. That's really cool. He goes, yeah, we had nothing to do with that. Virtual DJ was like, oh, this is a cool thing. Let's put it in. And they just put it in. So Virtual DJ just, they work on their own time frame there. And hey, more respect to them. At least they're trying, right? At least they're trying. Okay, so I'm going to see if I can answer a couple more questions because I do see we got Rachel Lynch in the green room here waiting to get on. And I don't want to keep her waiting too long. So let's just run through a couple more questions and then see. Yeah, exactly. DJ Coda, if I want to know what Fahrenheit is, I'm just going to Google it. That's the easiest way. I'm not trying to do math in my head. Like, no, thank you. I don't have it. Red Bureau said, try it. It works. I will. Okay. Mama Single sent this huge link. I don't know what that is. Guide to building a moderation team. Mama Slim, what are you saying? You're saying I'm not capable of building a moderator team? Should I be offended or should I be excited that you're trying to help me? Like, I don't know what to do right there. Thank you. Thank you. I'll check that link out later. I might have to populate that link and we'll see what it looks like. I'm afraid to click and it'll take me off this screen. So I don't want to do that. But yeah, I just need more moderators. That's the God's honest truth. But you know, it's not like I'm paying. It's not like I have admin. So they have to decide what they want to do, and that's a little different. Okay, so we are going to bring in this lovely young lady, DJ Rachel Lynch. She has been a staple for the DJ community for many, many months. I'm not going to say years because I don't want to offend her, but for a long time. I actually caught her. I caught her on some random video. Oh, that's right. It was the adjustable stackable trusses that you could build on the fly. That was actually the first video I saw of hers, and I was like, hey, like, you don't typically see a lot of girl YouTubers, Facebookers, you know, whatever you want to call it. You don't see too many girl DJs doing this type of thing, and I was really, really impressed. Super professional, super on the point, you know, information super clear and concise, and that's what you look for. It's not about being a man or a woman. It's just about being good at what you do. And she's definitely good at what she does. And she's got a lot of fans, especially a lot of Facebook fans, like a lot more than I do. That's impressive. So we're going to bring her on right now. And ladies and gentlemen, why don't you give a round of applause to lady in the house, DJ Rachel Lynch. Give it up for her. Let's pull her in. I said, let's pull her in. Why aren't you pulling in? She's active. Hold on. Don't say anything yet because I don't know why you're not coming in. Please hold. Here, you guys listen to music while I do this. This is really weird. It's not bringing her on. Hold on. Let me see if I can talk to her on the thing here. This is silly. Here. Enjoy some visuals while I do this. I don't have to tell you how weird this is that she's not coming in right now. This is absolutely bizarre. I have now reset the browser, and who said was it bar? I think bar is broken. Yeah, we're working on this right now, trying to figure out why it won't come in, because every indication says she's on here. Let me try to do it from another place. Pardon the technical difficulties, guys. You see, it says she was there. She came in for a minute. Okay, so let's see what's going on here, because there is no indication. Tell me if anybody sees her right now. I don't personally see her, and I don't hear her either. You saw her for a second before. Okay, so what do we do here? Because this is very interesting, because there's like 80 people online right now. I kind of feel like I got to restart this thing in order to get her on. I don't see... Hold on. Yeah. I wonder if it's, you know what? Rachel, this is what we're going to do. I have an idea. We're going to kill you real quick. Not literally kill you. We're going to kill you. I'm going to send a new invite thing. Do me a favor. Yeah, I'm going to send you a new invite. I'm going to kill that other one and see if that has anything to do with it. Okay? So just we're going to hang up with you real quick, and then we're going to and then we'll try to bring you back on. Okay. See, this is what happens. See, this is what happens when you deal with tech stuff. But the difference is we figured it out. See, that's the difference. It's why you need to follow me. All right. Now, we did that beautiful ass intro for Rachel, and then I screwed it all up for whatever reason. The system didn't want to do it. So I'm not going to go through the same thing, but we are going to bring her on right now because She deserves it. I don't have any applause, but that is okay. So let's bring her on right now. Hey, are you there?
I am here. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
I can hear you. I can see you just fine. That is fantastic.
Beautiful. Dude, you handled it like a champ, man. Like, that's what it is. It was smooth. It was confident. Here we are. People stuck around. So,
well, it's funny because I've used that Restream link because I'm using Restream Studio to do all this, and they give you a link. And they're like, just pass this link out to everybody. So I had my boy Paris on. Whoopig used the same link. Bar used the same link yesterday.
Well, Bar broke it, obviously.
Bar definitely broke it. It's funny because I always say this about Bar. I'm like, every time like we're together, something happens. Like, are you setting me up? Do you not want me to improve my followers? Like that, but it's not Bar's fault. It's definitely a Restream fault, which I will actually email them and figure out what the hell is going on, because that shouldn't have happened. That's just silly.
And you didn't have shitty hold music, so I appreciate that because I was listening to it the whole time, so it was good. It was good.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I've as of yesterday with Bar, I decided I'm no longer going to be DJing commercial music on this particular stream because I want to be able to turn it into a podcast, and I want it to go on my YouTube and not be demonetized because I'm playing, I Got a Feeling. Like, that's just silly. Like, why would I waste it? So my whole thing was, I hope that people are okay with me just talking and playing music that they've never heard of. And so far it's been good. So by the way, before we start.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, before we, hold on. I want to tell the crowd, everybody share the stream. If you're on YouTube, share. If you're on Facebook, share. And I know all of Rachel's people seem to be on Facebook. You have a lot of people. Like, it's impressive how many people you have on Facebook. Like, I was shocked when I saw, I think it was one of your last posts. I think it was your wedding recap. And, I follow you and I'm looking at your stuff and I look at the comments and like the views, and I'm just like, Jesus, this is insane. Like, I don't get those types of views on Facebook. Like, not even close. So I don't know.
I have really good algorithms, like really good algorithms. No joke. I posted a meme yesterday on my Facebook business page. Now, we're talking organic, not paid, and organic is dead.
Sure.
I don't know if my camera will focus on this, but so far, where was this meme? Okay, it was this, and it's actually kind of timely because of what you were just joking. So here's the meme, right?
Right, sure.
It has 418 shares and reached like 40,000 people. I don't know, man. It's just good algorithms.
No, that's insane. Like, I have people share my stuff. I'll get like 30. I mean, I've never come close to 400. Like, that's insane. That's impressive. That is totally impressive. Good job for you.
Appreciate that.
But here's the thing though. Because you're on Facebook, there's no way they haven't come to you and said, "Hey, we want to pay you," or do they? Do you get monetized for any Facebook stuff?
No, not at all. That was never the mission though, and I think maybe now I don't want to say like I regret a little bit. I honestly just do what I do because I love what I do, and I feel that people appreciate it, and I like being a part of the community. There's really no incentive for me other than some brands kind of recognize what I do, and I do get to touch some cool gear and get first look at things. You have the same, opportunity to, but I kind of like it not being monetized because it just keeps it really just low key, low pressure, no expectation. I just do it because I love it, kind of a thing. And I think that's why I have the loyalty, because people know I'm not getting paid to say and do things. So
sure. That makes sense. And again, I think ultimately that's why we all start this, is really to do something for ourselves, to express ourselves, however it be, visually, or just to kind of get your own voice out. Because obviously, if you're doing it, you're trying to help people. So I think that's really, really important. And that's the reason why I started on YouTube. Now, I did think about it when I was starting up, like, okay, in the future, if something were to happen, am I going to be able to capitalize on it? And I looked at both of them, and even to this day, like, I have a fan page, and it's actually building, especially because of this show. Like, and I've I've actually made a concentrated effort to like get stuff out there. But because I know I can't monetize it, it's really hard for me to like put focus on it. And, you know, because I value my time, and I do think that, you know, to a certain degree, time is money. And the more effort you put in it, it should be something that's going to be productive and profitable to you for the future, you know. So, and I know you just hit 5,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Yes, I did last week sometime. Now it's at 5,500, so it grew even a little bit more. It's cool.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. So let me ask you, before COVID hit, like in March, what were your numbers at?
Like 3,000.
Yeah.
I had a huge bump. My huge bump came from, I did a quarantine gig log where I literally put almost every piece of gear I own out in my driveway and threw
I saw that
party. Yeah.
Yes.
That was a huge gig log for me. And then the virtual DJ update, that was another quick boost.
Yeah. Virtual DJ will do that for you.
Yeah.
For good or for bad, they will definitely watch every virtual DJ video on the planet. And look, and I say this, I kid, you know, VDJ, like they don't like actually saying the whole thing. But VDJ people and me have always had this like tumultuous relationship because we started off on the wrong foot. And but we've worked it all out and everything's good. And I actually like virtual DJ as a platform. I think it's a really good platform. I still have my favorites, but it's a good platform. But yeah, anytime I do any type of VDJ, it's literally like it's an easy, you know, 10,000 views like that. Just because.
Well, I loved your video, especially, I feel like yours almost had a little bit more clout, right? Because I'm kind of classified as the virtual DJ princess. I've been a virtual DJ user for over 15 years, and I've pushed it even when it was the most uncool thing. I didn't care. You know, like I wasn't in it for clout. It worked and it was fine. But because you are a predominant Serato user, and obviously very talented with the software, you kind of giving it at least the time of day and at least an objective look has a lot of clout and credential behind it. So I really appreciated, you know, the attempt to be impartial and really dive in. So I really enjoyed your review myself. Like, people are going to assume I'm going to say great things because, you know, people know I love VDJ. So coming from you, it was awesome.
well, thank you. And look, and I've always tried to take a real impartial view on everything that I do. Look, we're all human beings, so there comes a point where you're going to be slightly biased. There's nobody out there that's going to say, and they might not say it on camera, and then I talk to them on the side, and you're like, yeah, that's shit. Like, I don't want that. You know what I mean? Like, I want it to be real. If you don't believe in something, say it, you know, and then just be prepared for the consequences. And but the funny thing is, even when I said good things and or bad things, there's still people that are just like on both sides that are just like, you know, angry, and it's like. And I sat there and I remember the 2-part video that I did, and I remember Virtual DJ, and they follow me on YouTube, and I remember them coming on and emailing me like, hey guys, you know, I saw this part and I saw this part, and I think we can work on that. Can we talk about it? Blah, blah, blah. It's like when a company sees from an outside perspective a difference and they actually attempt to make adjustments to it, you would think that the people that are actually, you know, loyal to it would be the same, but it's like all or nothing. Either you love it or you love it. That's it. You're not allowed to hate it. You know, it's the best software on the planet. And that's why I've always said, I'm like, it's a very good software. It's quirky for certain things that I'm accustomed to. It does things slightly odd, and I have to train my brain every time I turn on Virtual DJ. Oh, that's right. I got to do these things. But when I'm in it, it works. Now, I've said this, and I will continue to say this. I do think it works better for controllers. You know, it always has. It seems like they just have the magic formula for controllers because they've made modifications on the turntable side, which I don't think as a turntablist, and I don't claim to be a turntablist, I'm just saying in general, as a turntablist, there's some quirky things in there that don't make sense. And I've had some people email me like, hey, they're doing this on the turntable side. Is this right? Does this seem right to you? And I'm like, no, that doesn't seem right. And so I went on the chat and I kind of commented, and, you know, they're like, no, it's operating to spec. And again, nothing that you can't work around. but it's just like, okay, that's quirky. It's obvious to me that maybe you don't have a lot of turntablists that would say, wait a minute, no, that's not a good idea. Is it broken? No, but just quirkiness, but I've learned to work around it. I'm like, okay, I know the cool ass things like the stems and being able to pull out the acapellas and like, that's like game changing, and that alone, every time I'm not on, especially when I DJ with my son, we DJ every Saturday, and I'm always like, oh, it would be really dope if I could drop this acapella right now. And I'm sitting in Serato like, I really should open up Virtual DJ when I'm doing this show, because I want to be able to drop an instrumental or an acapella and be able to scratch over that and that type of stuff. So that stuff is really game changing. And like, I don't know if Serato, I don't know if Rekordbox are going to do anything like that. Like, they found a niche, and that's what's important. You got to find something that makes you. And I think they're starting to understand how to market to the rest of the world, and they can utilize things that we're like, oh, wait a minute, hold on. I can make instant acapellas? I think I'm going to use this now. Not like, oh, I'm just another DJ software, but I use Rekordbox or I use Serato, so I don't have a need to move over to Virtual DJ. There's nothing to entice me. Yeah, I know it's powerful, but well, it doesn't matter. I'm still using my stuff. But if you tell me that now I can pull out acapellas and instrumentals, that's going to get people to take a look just because it's like, that's something dope.
Some of the arguments I had with people over, well, these aren't real stems and there's still a bunch of garbage. And it's like, guys, it's not perfect, right? Think about what they're doing, right? The technology there. You're never going to have a perfect stem because, in theory, I get it. It's not a real stem, but it's as close as to the real thing you're going to get. Now, I know it's their algorithms and they get feedback. They're probably going to get a little better, over here and there.
They actually have. They've gotten better since the last update.
Right, with that new update, with that way to kind of finesse it even more. But people are like, they're lying to people, calling these stems. And it's like, guys, you're able to isolate individual components of music. That is the definition of a stem, whether it's high quality, whatever. So when we're talking about like the loyalists and the purists, like, was it Tractor that had these originally? Right? They're correct. Like, this isn't Tractor. And, I was like, okay, then don't use it. I don't know. I think it's super dope. My mixes have really become a lot more creative just because of that little extra room you have to do things you couldn't do before.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And again, it's like, look, there are certain songs that I've tested and they haven't sounded good. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to do it for this. But there's other songs where you open it up and you're like, this is amazing. So I'm good. Hold on. I'm getting an echo. Why am I getting an echo? I'm getting myself feedback.
You sound good to me personally.
Okay. It's subtle, but I am hearing some sort of.
Damn it, echo. Bar! You broke something else.
I know. It's manageable. It's manageable. So now, where do you live? What state are you in?
I am from Connecticut, and I live in the middle of nowhere.
I'm like, why do you say that with a pause?
Because I don't like admitting it. Connecticut's like terrible. Do you know? Okay, so I don't want to make this all political and dramatic, but maybe this is an interesting topic to talk about. So I actually just wrote an article. Actually, let me back up. I did a wedding last Saturday. Really cool wedding, about 40-ish people. It was at a venue, and Connecticut still is pretty heavy on restrictions. In fact, they just upped them. So right now we're allowed 50 people inside, 100 people outside. Masks are required whenever you leave a table. So if you get off your little network of people at your tables, you gotta put on your mask. No open bars, no clubs, none of that. All right. Okay. So I've kind of taken the stance. So any opportunity to do a gig log is great, right? And since I know my events are very numbered this year because of COVID, I want to do a gig log, but I want to do it intelligently because I've seen a lot of DJs posting pictures and videos of events. They're having a great time, but they are freaking reckless, reckless. And Connecticut just dropped yesterday. They are now fining anybody not wearing a mask where they're supposed to be. So grocery stores, things like that. It's $100. So if the police catch you, any government officials, anyone with that authority, they can fine you, give you a ticket on the spot. And if you're caught at an event that exceeds that capacity as a guest. So let's say someone's throwing a wedding and the venue doesn't observe the protocols. If you are a guest and they get crashed by the police, it is a $250 fine for every person there. So if you're a DJ and you're just showing up to the event and the venue doesn't follow protocol and you're just an innocent hired contractor to come and provide music and it exceeds those numbers, you can get fined $250 for that.
That's insane.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's gotten worse here, not better. So I wrote an article for Promo Only, pretty much telling DJs, stop posting reckless. Are we allowed to say dirty words on this?
Yes, you can.
Stop posting reckless shit, right? Find that delicate balance between showcasing the beauty of the event, but stop posting, people without wearing masks, packed dance floors, what people hammered, hanging all over each other. All you're going to do is bring unwanted attention to yourself, possibly fines, bring back restrictions, and we need to rope it in, folks. Just be smarter. Please be smarter.
Yeah. Nick Spinelli did a post on that too. Same thing, because he's been doing, for whatever reason, he seems to be doing a lot more gigs than everybody else. and he's like, look, guys, I get it. You want to post your gig logs and all this stuff. He goes, but just don't post. If you see people doing dumb shit, if you see people being reckless, don't post that, because all it's going to do is make everybody look bad, and the world's going to just retaliate, and then we're going to be in the same situation that we were in 3 months ago with the world lockdown. So I totally appreciate that, and I tend not, because I had my last event actually wouldn't allow me to. They made me sign an NDA to not post the video or to not post anything, because that was what they were concerned with, was how they're going to look to the world. You know what I mean? They don't want to be on the news like, oh, this party turned. They don't want that. So
and here's the problem with this: since every state isn't, not only are states not synced up, but venues aren't synced up. So what may be okay at one venue may be against a violation in another. So if someone takes a screenshot, shares the video, people have no context of where you live, where it's at. Right. So while it might have been allowed to someone else in another state, it's like, oh my God, look at what they're doing. It can go crazy and get taken way out of context. So I don't know. I'm crafting my gig log now, and I'm trying to be responsible about it and things like that. But yeah, that's just something I wanted to get out there for any DJs tuned in. Just be smart about your gig logs and your photo posts. I know we're all excited to get back to work, but man, you could take 10 steps back with that, and it's just not good.
Yeah. And that's, I don't know. You said you're going backwards restriction wise. We're in California, so we've always been restricted. Like, there hasn't been an opportunity for us. Yeah, we do a couple of events. I think I got to check my emails. I have a gig this weekend, one backyard. It's always a backyard now, 20 people type thing. But it's few and far between. I'm actually, I don't want to say hurting more, because everybody's hurting, but because my clientele is all like super high end, and they won't even do a party if it's under like 250 people. It's like everybody's like, well, we're not gonna do anything until we can get out of it. Now, they're not canceling, but they're like, we're just gonna wait because we have money, and that's not a big deal. We'll just push it till 2021 December, and they're okay with that. Meanwhile, it's like, okay, but hey, we're still running a business here, and nobody's booking, because people started booking when the last time they removed restrictions, and it looked like we were going to be out of this, at a reasonable time. And then I started getting more phone calls. As soon as they pulled back, the phone call stopped. It's literally like we run with the news wave here. And so right now it's like, I haven't gotten a phone call in 2 weeks. And keep in mind, I used to get 30 phone calls a day. And it's just completely dried up. And it's like, what are you going to do? When we finally get out again, I know people are going to call, but people are just holding on to everything, holding on to their money, holding on to the ability. Venues won't tell them anything. That's the biggest thing. So when they call a venue, because that's usually, for us, they typically call the DJ and the venue right at about the same time. And, but they call venues and they're like, we don't know what we're going to do in 6 months. So how do you book an event when the venue you want is telling you, we can't even book you because we don't know if we're going to be allowed. So it's forcing everything to take a step back. Meanwhile, you know, people are concerned with companies going out of business, but if they don't get deposits, if they don't get things that allow them to run their business, it's like they're going to be out of business. There's like no way around it. You know, it's weird. It's really weird.
It's really weird. So the events that you have done, how was the vibe? Did it feel a little hard to kind of get your feet wet? Were people ready just to rage out and party? Like, what have you experienced? Because we're literally on opposite ends of the country. So I feel like this is kind of a cool conversation for us to have.
Yeah. So I have done, I've done 4 events. The first one was a silent DJ, which I actually posted the video. It was a silent DJ with like 20 people in their backyard. Those people, and that was early on in quarantine. That was like, I don't know, April, you know, or maybe like early April, late March. And that one, the people definitely, you know, they were like, we're practicing social distancing and it's safe and blah, blah, blah. All the food's pre-wrapped and everything. Like, okay, great. And I'm like, am I going to be away from people? Because I don't want to be near anyone. Don't take it personal. No, you're gonna. I said, I need a place to come through where I don't have to touch anybody, talk to anybody. I can go to the side gate as long as it's a plug and go from there. So that was fine. Got there, they did it. Now, people did dance relatively close. I think they were more trusting that the people that they invited were COVID-free versus actually knowing that they were COVID-free. Like maybe they invited the same people that have been quarantining kind of with them for the past 2 to 3 weeks. And so now it's like, look, I know you guys are good, so come. Because they all danced, they were spaced out at first, and then the more they drank, the closer they got. And which is why they don't want open bars. Like, I completely understand, because alcohol inhibits you. So you need to do something to like stop this stupidness. And alcohol is not the way. So that was good. And they danced and everything was good. Then I did a drive-by, a bar mitzvah drive-by, right after the ceremony. So we did that. They were all in their cars. That was fine, except for mom. And I think I don't know who I talked to, Whoopik, on this one. And for whatever reason, a couple days before, she was like, we're having this thing. I have videos I want you to show. I said, great. Email me all the videos. I'll make sure I have them. I'm only playing the audio. I'm not playing the video. Email them to me. Everything's great. Cool. She emails them to me last minute. Oh, I have another one. Okay, I still have time. I haven't left, because where we were in a super dead spot. No cell service, no Wi-Fi, no nothing. So I'm like, I got to have everything now. I know the venue. So then I get to the event and the lady's like, oh, I have 4 more that I need to send you. And I'm like, well, there's nothing here. She goes, oh, and I said, well, you can airdrop them to me. Okay, I'll do that. So she starts to do it and she's like, I don't know how to do this. Here, do this for me. And I'm looking at her like, I don't want to touch your phone. Like, this is the whole point. Get away from me. And I had to touch her phone. I keep sanitizer next to me. So I cleaned it off, and I'm like, this is the thing. This is the thing. For whatever reason, people are like, no, we're socially conscious. We're COVID safe. And then they do dumb stuff where it's like, that's not COVID safe. You're contradicting yourself. Like, she should have just been like, you know what? I can't get them to you. Oh, well, my fault, but that's it is. Now, fast forward to the bar mitzvah that I did. They were practicing social distancing. Like, they all had, just like you said in Connecticut, they all had their designated pod. They called them pods, and they were all around the room. There was like 40 people there, and everybody stayed in their places. However, and when we booked it, lady was like, well, she wants a hora. I said, well, you can't really do a hora and practice social distancing. So we can keep everybody at their table, and we can have the immediate family in the middle, lift the chair, yada, yada, yada. We'll go from there. She's like, okay, that's fine. And I said, look, you have to be, she's like, well, she doesn't want people to leave early. She doesn't know if she wants them dancing. And I said, well, look, you have to manage your expectations for this. She may want a lot of things, but once you're at the party, depending on the people that are there, they may be like, look, just be happy that I'm here. I'm going to be here. I'm going to eat the food, and then I'm out of here. And so she's like, yeah, you're right. We'll just have to figure it out. Then later on, she's like, I think she wants them to dance. And I'm like, look, I'll play music. I'll play good music. They may or may not dance. If they don't, that's fine, but they probably should dance in their own areas. fast forward to the party. Everything's going well. We're playing music. They had a whole bunch of rock requests and things like that. But mom was like, no. I need you to play like some pop music. I need you to. I'm like, okay, I can go there. So I started playing that. And, people started dancing. Then she and her friends were on the floor. And it's like, okay, we're no longer social distancing. And this is on you. That's fine. You can do whatever you want. Like, I'm not going to be that social justice warrior that's like, you can't do this. Like, it's your house. It's your backyard. You only paid me to play music. So that's what I'm going to do. But if you ask me to do anything that jeopardizes my safety, then it's going to be a no. But I can play music while you dance. And they jumped in the pool. It was like people were jumping in the pool with their clothes on. Like, it was one of those types of parties. And so I'm okay with that. It would have made a great vlog. Like, I'm really sad that I couldn't do the vlog. But they had an area for us. It was far behind. We were away from people. So yeah, like, I don't have an issue with doing parties. I think people are literally at their wits' end. And I think that every time, like the party I'm doing on Saturday, it's a gay wedding. Now, I don't know how many gay weddings you've done, but they rage. I've never been to a gay wedding that didn't rage, like, every time. So yes, I'm a little curious to see what's going to happen at this party, because they sent their playlist and I'm like, this is all like this is dance music. This isn't like, oh, cocktail party. Like, they came to dance. And so it'll be interesting. My partner did a wedding. He went to a wedding in Cleveland. A friend was having it. And he's like, dude, I got there and like, nobody cares. Everybody was Dre Daying it. And he's like, I felt uncomfortable. And he's like, not the biggest COVID guy, but he was like, even I was uncomfortable how close people were. So, I don't know. I guess I would say it depends on where you live, but right now, I don't think it does. I think people are just going to do what people do. And it has nothing to do with civil liberties or anything like that. People just don't like to be told no. Like, they don't want to be told they can't do anything. And like, when I watch other countries that are like almost out of it because they just said, you know what, we're not going to do anything for 2 months and we're just going to do what we do. And they're almost out of it, or their cases are super small. And then I look at ours where nobody cares and we have, so millions of cases. I'm just like, what? President or not, if we just look to other examples, like, that should be enough. Like, I don't care who you vote for, just don't come at me with it. But I don't care if you're Trump or you're whatever. But we got to trust science. It's clearly working for other people. That's all. All right, I'm off my soapbox.
So there was 2 big learning things that I plan on passing in my most recent gig log, because this gig log has taken kind of a different feel. I do have some setup video and some video from the event, but nothing of like the actual partying and all of that. But I'm kind of going into like the prep that went into it and the lessons learned, because it had like a different vibe for this. So here, anyone watching that has any events coming up, here's kind of what I noticed. So when we first walked in, there was like this big table with masks, 4 gallons of hand sanitizer, and then they had 3 little buckets with these colored bracelets. And I think that's actually a pretty popular thing that's going on now, where either they do green, red, yellow. Green is I'm good, hugs and kisses. Red is like, don't touch me. I'm just here to kind of eat the food and maybe go home.
That's smart.
And then the yellow is I'm okay with talking, but don't touch me. Like, I'm not going to be out on the dance floor with you, kind of a thing. The whole entire bucket of let's rage, hug, kiss was completely empty. So I think the people that are showing up, they're kind of the group of, hey, I'm at my wit's end. I don't care. I'm here to party. Let's party. And I think the people who are still really cautious or high risk, they don't want to be in the mix of the irresponsibility that they perceive. So they're just staying home anyway. Other than maybe the grandma that wants to show up to see, her granddaughter in her beautiful dress for a couple hours and then go home. Other than that, people want to party there. So as a condition of this one venue I was at, like I said, everybody had to wear a mask whenever they left the table, and that was including on the dance floor. I don't know if about you, wearing a mask standing in line at the grocery store sucks, let alone actually like dancing, right? It's terrible. Right. So there were a couple times that people forgot their masks, you know, at the table, or, you know, they were casually dancing and then they just kind of migrate to the dance floor. So the venue had me make an announcement. Oh, like you said, you didn't want to be the COVID police, but if you want to maintain a good relationship with that venue, you know, you can't just be like, you know, whatever.
Exactly.
So you have to find a tasteful way of doing that. So my first tip is get comfortable with some soft language that doesn't make you sound like a high school principal, but you can address these situations if you have to. Now, I also noticed when I said that, it cleared my dance floor like crickets. Terrible.
You don't want to be that guy that's like, oh, I don't care about COVID, so you have to leave.
Right. So every time I said to people, hey, listen, go get your mask, come back to the floor. They didn't really come back to the floor right away. I had to rebuild almost every single set. It was one of the most hardest events I had. I was constantly working. Get a slow song to get them out. Do this, do that. Like I used my whole bag of tricks. So guys, be ready to dip into that bag of tricks because you're going to need it. The second recommendation that I have is if you haven't taken this time to update your crates, you better do it before the show. Because if you think you're going to get away with dinner and cocktail hour, with your standard postmodern jukebox and your, you know, beach vibes and your, you know, your standard Frank Sinatra stuff and all that kind of instrumental, whatever, guys, you got to do better than that. Because my cocktail hour, people weren't allowed to walk around and socialize. Cocktail hour was pretty much just like an extended dinner with hors d'oeuvres.
Yes.
People couldn't. So people were sitting for hours. So you have to play music that they can literally bop in their chair. Your sing-along crate better be brought to the 100th degree. It's got to be upbeat, feel-good music, and forget all that dinner vibes. Maybe physically for the half an hour that maybe they're eating the prime rib, go ahead. But that's what you need to prepare for. So your dance floor getting reset like 100 times, and you better have a really good cocktail dinner, sing-along energy crate.
Yes.
Kind of a thing.
I'm throwing rules up right now.
Oh, okay.
Come on. Now, there was a question. Somebody asked, I think it was Phenomenal, asked, what do you respond? How do you respond to people who say, get a real job, DJ? This obviously, don't blame us for your problems that you're not working. Maybe you should have a real job and this won't be an issue. How do you respond to that?
So personally, that drives me crazy. Now, this might make me really kind of uncool here, but I actually do have a 9-to-5. I have my whole entire life. I've never done full-time DJing because I always wanted to keep this as a really cool side hustle thing that I love. I don't want to ever have to take on clients that I don't vibe with for the sake of putting food on the table. So every event I do, I authentically love because I chose to do it. But I have so many DJ friends that are going through that, you know, constantly vent to me, you know, I think this is a bunch of BS, you know, we're not getting the help or support we need. We're starving here. And everyone tells me to go be, you know, like a Walmart greeter. And I didn't build, you know, this empire. I didn't do this for 25 years to go, you know, bag groceries. At the end of the day, they'll do what they have to do, but they're looking for people to step up and really take an objective look to what's going on to this industry, the entertainment industry as a whole, and acknowledge the pain and the suffering that's going on with this. You know what I mean? So I tell those people, until you've owned your own business, you know, especially if you're working for somebody else, you don't understand what this feels like to watch your empire crumble beneath you. And not because you're not good at what you do or you don't love what you do, it's because literally your hands are tied behind your back.
Exactly.
And it's an unfair assumption. It's an unfair stigma to put DJs in this, you know, this pedestal that, oh, you just don't want to get a real job or you don't want to roll up your sleeves. It has nothing to do with that. You know, people are going to do what they can to survive, but I'm not going to give up on my passion and my empire because you don't want to respect my and, you know, the direction that I've taken with my professional career. That's not my problem. So I feel for you all out there that do this, you know, this is your 9-to-5. I feel you, man. It's so hard to watch people go through what they're going through. But at the same time, you know, lessons learned. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with diversified income. you know, and if anything has showed that, even if you DJ full time and you have just a little side hustle, you sell things on Etsy. I don't care what you do, just have something, you know, as just a little extra diversified income. I think that's kind of maybe the takeaway from here. I don't know. Have you considered anything like that? Because you do this full time, 100%, right?
Correct.
So have
I considered diversifying? Well, I mean, in all honesty, my diversification comes from everything else that I do, like my YouTube channel, like all those things. I have never touched my YouTube money, like ever, because I'm like, you know, I just want to keep that over there for savings and a special occasion. Like, I always wanted, I use a Panasonic Lumix camera, and like a lens came out and it was beautiful. And I was like, I'm using that lens right now. I really want that lens, but it was like $1,600 for the lens. And I was and I'm like, I can't just do this. And then all of a sudden I'm just like, I got all this money from YouTube and I haven't touched it. If I'm going to use money from YouTube, this is exactly what I use it for. Something that I'm going to use it on YouTube all the time. So I considered it an investment. I took some money out. It was so hard to do because, you know, when you have a savings account and you see it going up, you never want to take money out of it because you're like, oh, look, I just hit this new number. But I took it out and I've made it back. And obviously this camera has been amazing for me. So no complaints whatsoever. But yeah, so I've never touched that money. So there is money that I had built in that I was like, okay, great. I can use this, you know, when push comes to shove. But you know, I'm going to probably start doing more merch because I don't do any merch. So that's another thing that I want to do is I want to start increasing merch. Basically, and I said this with Bar. I just want to have like 15 different things all pulling in like $100 to $500 and a month, and I'm good. You know, that's diversification for you. Now it's not, and I was also saving up because we were going to start investing in new properties for property management because, you know, as a DJ, everything's great. And yes, I'm a multi-op, so it's a little different for me. Like I'm not the guy that has to necessarily DJ every weekend. So so it's not really about an age thing. What happens if you get too old? Like first off, you're never really too old to be a DJ if you just know your stuff. I always find DJs age because they just stop learning about music and what people want to hear. That's what makes you old, not that you're age-wise old. So, I mean, geez, look at Jazzy Jeff. I mean, the man's still killing it because he knows what the hell he's doing. That's it. You know, that's it. So, yeah, but having said that, I don't have to work every party and I can send the younger guys. It's like, oh, it's a bar mitzvah for a whole bunch of kids. Like, I don't want to do that. Here, go send my other guy. They're good for this. And, so for me, it was all about just continuing to build that up and do other things so I could get that supplemental income, that stuff that I don't have to worry about. But even then, even those people got screwed. My partner has houses or rental properties, and you know, he was in the middle of a build, and then COVID hit, and then like literally everything just stopped. But he still has to make payments, you know, on these things. So it's one of those really unfortunate things where you're like, there's almost nothing that is safe. So the more you have, the less you maybe have to deal with the fact that nothing is safe, you know, and maybe it's a staggered release, not just like, okay, DJ business is closed down. Now what do I do? You know, and by the way, it looks like Rachel's frozen. Rachel, are you frozen? This kind of reminds me of Titanic. When she's at the boat at the end of the party and she's like, Jack, we're gonna make it, Jack, and then she turns him over and he's like a frozen icicle and she just drops in the water. So Rachel, we're gonna take Rachel off for a minute, and we're gonna take her off because I do see her network looks like it just took a big crap. So we're gonna take her off and we're gonna try to cancel her out and then see if she can come back online here. So let's see if I can exit her out here. Let's turn her off. Rachel, come back and we'll get you back on here. All right. So that's her resting face. Stop. Oh, there she is. She really was in deep thought. Hold on. Let me bring her back.
All right. Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
I can't. I hope my face wasn't like ridiculous with on that frozen screen face is like the worst. So, oh my god. Anyway,
you know what?
About that.
Fortunately, yeah, you looked fine.
Okay.
I was on one with one in this DJ Audio one, and it's on Speaking Music Tips, which I go on all the time, and he froze. But DJ Audio one has the angriest resting face you'll ever see. So the guy Cole was talking to him was like, yeah, so what do you think? What do you think? And he asked the question, and then he's like, did I say something wrong? And then you finally realize after a minute, it's like, I think he's frozen. So your face was very, it was very intuitive. It was like you were like involved in the conversation. So I kept talking. I'm like, wow, she's really feeling me. Okay. I mean, after I talked more and more, and I was like, okay, I think there's something wrong because like she hasn't even like blinked. So blinky's important.
That's funny. Oh my God.
So anyway, so what I was saying was, I think you probably heard it.
I heard it all. I froze. Yeah. So we're talking about diversified income. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I think having a whole bunch of little things, multiples of those is gonna save you.
Rentals. I have 2 DJ friends that moved into rentals, and it's blowing their DJ business out of the water. But luckily, they can staff with the DJ stuff, so they're kind of becoming like this one-stop shop. Man, they're killing it. I'm talking popcorn machines, cotton candy. They got the movie screen, tents, chairs.
Right. Yeah.
Like they're killing it.
We do that also. But the only problem is, and I know that once we come back, because that's one thing that people need to realize. The things that you sell now may not be the things that work when we get out of COVID, so you have to think about those types of things, especially with like photo booths. That's a perfect example. I have like 6 photo booths, but I know that when we get back to a realistic thing, even when COVID is still there, people aren't going to want to touch the photo booth. So now you have to figure out, how am I going? I still want to sell it, but now I have to make it COVID safe. Like I'm not going to be putting all these props on the tables so people can put them on and they're literally just transferring COVID back and forth. Like that's not going to be a thing that you can do. So you have to think about those types of things, and also things that maybe were popular. Like for me, everybody calls them different things. Like I think in New York, they call them party poppers. It's the dancers. It's the, the people that keep the party going, party motivators. Yeah, exactly. But I have a feeling that people are going to be like, we don't want the dancers because we don't want that person in the dance floor spreading COVID, that we can't trust. So I'm okay with not having them. They do make a little bit of profit, but the human resource element costs a lot of money. You got to pay these people. They don't all get paid the same rate, but you charge a specific rate for an entertainer. So you may make a good amount, or they may be quality entertainers and you make a lot less. But if I don't have a dancer and I sell a photo booth, or I sell TVs, or I sell silent DJ, that's like pure profit. And now I'm just making more money, as opposed to, okay, now I got to pay for all this other stuff. So yeah, I think the things, and I never used to say this, like I was never a big sell everybody everything. Like that's definitely an East Coast thing, like a New York thing, like, New York event centers are all like one-stop shops. I get my furniture there. I get all my entertainment. I get my lighting. All this stuff is through there. So I know that's a New York thing, an East Coast thing. We do some of it, but in California, it's kind of broken out. Like party planners don't necessarily like to hire one shop to do everything. So they'll hire you as a DJ, and maybe you'll bring a photo booth, but then they have a dedicated lighting guy and a dedicated furniture guy. Like you can't do it all here. Like probably because they want to make a little more money. So the more they can have other things, they can make more money on that side. But it is what it is. We're fortunate enough to not have to we don't need party planners to run our business. Like clients call us directly. So we're fortunate with that, but it doesn't work that way for everybody. And I understand that, but but selling more stuff, the add-ons are definitely the easiest way to become more profitable. And a lot of people don't want the responsibility. And then they realize that like, it's easier than you think, and a popcorn machine is easier than you think. It's you just put the popcorn in and turn it on. Like it's not like it requires some brainiac to engineer to run it. You can hire some kid off the street. So I'm definitely for that. I don't want to turn into a novelty shop because when people do hire Check 1 2, my company, they go into it knowing that like the DJs and the entertainers and the entertainment is like top notch. Everything else is secondary. Because I've had companies that are like, oh, we do everything. And it's like, okay, great. And then the client will, when they're looking at other companies, they'll look at them and then they'll call us and they'll go, well, this person said that they do all of these things. Do you do all that stuff? And I'm like, no, I don't. I do these things, but I do these things really, really well. And you've gone to that other person's parties. Did you dance? What do you mean? Were you on the dance floor having a good time dancing the night away? Well, we danced a little bit. Okay. You're hiring a DJ first. And the DJ's job is to get you to dance. If you're not dancing with the DJ's doing something wrong. That's what we do well. So we can do all the other things, but that's not important to your party. Now, if you're like, well, I want these other things and we're just a vendor, all bets are off. If you just want a dude to play music, I can send you that too. But we pride ourselves on knowing how to rock a crowd. That is our thing, so it's a catch-22 for a lot of people, and a lot of people can't do management, because that's more administrative stuff that they have to deal with.
Very administrative, scheduling, rental, inventory. Absolutely. I guess the point of bringing up is don't want people to feel dead in the water. And there's a lot of our skills that are transferable to other things where you can monetize. Like I've had a couple churches hire me to do some FM broadcasting for their services outside. Like, okay, I DJ, but they don't need a DJ that day, but they need someone who gets sound and who has quality gear that they can essentially rent, show up, set it up, show them how to use it so they could deliver, their outdoor services in a professional way. So I had a detail shop hire me to contract my Ape Labs uplighting so they could do, and my 80J, the On Tour Chill, this low-lying fog machine for a car shoot. Right. So I made, a couple $100 that day. Again, I'm not DJing, but the garage, the stuff sitting in the garage is still making some money. So DJs, I'm just kind of step out of your comfort zone, get a little creative, and find ways to still make money off of the stuff you already have, kind of a thing. Agreed.
Yeah, and that's actually, we never used to rent. And by the way, a shout out to Tweak Music Tips. I see them in the chat. Good to see you, fam. Good to see you. Make sure everybody, you guys follow Tweak Music Tips because they have great sessions on streaming. They have a lot of streaming tech guys that can go in there and help you with all of your streaming needs. And they have industry people, music people. They're going to have a huge thing on Friday. You don't want to miss it. It's a whole hip hop. I think it's this Friday because I think we're on the 29th. But anyway, Friday, check them out. And they'll be on tomorrow with the streaming. So Tweak Music Tips, make sure you follow them. Super dope. Yes, I know we intersect with each other, but that's okay. They're still super dope. And I always raid them after when I know they're on. Anyway, Tweak Music Tips says think out of the box and adapt or die. And that's 100% correct. Tweak Music Tips is a perfect example. DJ Kova is a record producer. That's what he did, when he wasn't doing this stuff. And then he always wanted to do kind of a talk show style thing. Didn't have the opportunity until COVID hit. And then he was like, I have all this time on my hands. What am I going to do with this? Hey, you know what? Now is a good time to work on the things that maybe I put to the side for months, for years. And he's turned that thing into a huge channel. Tons of people, trying to get on with him and because I recognize now he's got he had Crystal Waters on, for God's sakes. The man is getting some serious people in there, and he had Cleveland Terry on. That should be enough right there.
He's doing great stuff. I follow him on Facebook really closely and watch things he posts, and he's killing it. So that's what it is. Just get creative. And guys, if you try something and it fails, pick yourself back up, dust off, and try something again. You know what I mean? Now is the time.
Exactly. Now is the time. And but I guess what I was saying before I moved over to Tweak Music Tips is before we shut it down, as a lot of people saw the video, we had to move everything into storage. But we had all this equipment. And my whole issue was, and I'd never rented the equipment. And people always said, oh, well, do you rent it? And I'm like, well, I have rented in the past. And every time I rented it, it came back broken or something was wrong. And so then I stopped renting it because I was more concerned with the parties that we did, because I'm like, well, what if you break it and then a week later we need that for a party we're about to do, and now we're screwed. So I've been on the fence with renting, but now that everything's in storage, all bets are off. I'm gonna rent everything. That's just facts. I got to make money. Mojax DJ in the house. What is going on, fam? Good to see you. Appreciate you being here. And I think we have another Rachel crash, and it looks like she's back on right now. Let's bring her back. I said, let's bring her back. There she is. Okay, great.
Hello.
So, hey there. So, yeah, I'm looking at your data. It's actually giving me your upload stream, and it's like jumping up and down. I think that's the issue. Yeah.
Okay.
It's okay.
Yeah. I have the worst internet in the world here.
Is it because you live in Connecticut?
Literally. Well, no, it's because I live in a town with one traffic light, no gas station, no high school, no police station. Like literally there's nothing out here.
Are you serious?
How else do you think I was able to do that like neighborhood block party? By the time they called the police and the state trooper from 9 towns away showed up, I'd already be done with it. Like literally it's crazy here. It's
that's
like
hilarious.
Yeah, I live in the middle of nowhere.
Do you have a bank? Because like you just basically told everybody that you should probably rob a bank in your town because no cops are going to come. You're safe for a long time.
Yeah, so. there's nothing going on here.
So Mojax is in the house. Hey, make sure you guys follow Mojax DJ. Super dope. I would call him one of my YouTube mentors. He's always helped me out, so I appreciate him. And hey, follow Mojax. Every single Wednesday, he does a show called Progress at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Your mileage may vary, but make sure you follow him. Even if you don't like progressive house, it's still dope. It's still dope. So check him out when you get a chance. You know, that's the thing about Twitch. And by the way, Rachel, I know that you haven't actually DJ'd on Twitch yet.
No.
Are you even on Twitch?
I have an account to watch others, but I haven't done any streaming at all whatsoever.
Okay, so you know the question's going to be, why don't you do it?
Couple reasons. So my internet really sucks here, as you can see, and I would hate to really, like literally, number one reason is I have garbage internet. And actually, hold on. Let me see if I can grab this. I have a Wi-Fi extender that I spent like $500 on in like Best Buy. Hold on. It's reversed, right? Got one of these here. Orange dot means it's not happy. It constantly doesn't work. So I have, like, I don't get it. I don't know. I have no internet here.
You're right by the Wi-Fi extender and you're still
literally,
getting bad data.
Yeah, I could put it in my mouth and like, dude, it's worse here. So I have really bad internet. Is number one. I don't really have great equipment, so it would take some investment, like better cameras, better lenses and things. I'm literally operating off of a Logitech Brio. It's okay, but I guess what it is everyone has upped the ante so much, and I've missed the boat that now I would need like a chroma key, green painted wall. I need all this lighting, and it just is like, that's it. That's my explanation.
And
I'm so far behind the 8 ball.
You're not far behind. In all honesty,
the stuff you produce. Come on.
Look, like, okay, no, you're not wrong. And there are different levels to Twitch streamers. Okay, but the facts are there are definitely some people out there that aren't doing anything, and literally it's just them and their computer and a small little DJ setup and like a curtain hanging, like DJ Audio One. He's a perfect example. DJ Audio One he just put the curtain up. Okay. He didn't even have the curtain before. It was just him in his room. He had a computer. He was DJing. I kid you not. This was his microphone right here. This was basically, all right, guys, thanks for joining the stream, like non-stop. And the man made partner. He constantly has 100 to 130 people on his stream, and he does nothing but DJ. That's it. He DJs and he's involved in one turntable. Yeah, in one turntable. He DJs and he's just involved in the chat so much. But yeah, I do things just because of me. I don't think it necessarily matters because I think there is overkill. You know, like I see some people and they have so much going on, so much. And I'm like, okay, it looks dope, but you don't sound dope. And I think they need to go together. You know what I mean? Like, don't just, it's not the Wizard of Oz where you're just trying to like pay no attention
like that catfish YouTube videos, right? Where they have nice cover art and then you click on the video and it's like some hot piece of garbage. It's almost like a catfish. It looks good, but it's like,
that's exactly what it is.
What did I get dialed in here? You know, it is. It's like the catfish YouTube thumbnail.
Yeah. And so you're on the stream and, you know, people are like, wow, well, why am I on the stream? And people are just literally like taking notes like, oh, well, that's dope. That's dope. I'm going to use this for my stream. And that's it. But when it's all said and done, you still got to be able to DJ. And I think that's the biggest thing. And yeah. And so there are certain people. Yeah. The ante has gone up because people have realized what they can do. They can push the envelope on DJing. Like I did a whole thing on a Matrix one and it took a lot of time, a lot of work, and it was cool. But I still like to think that I can DJ too. So it's not that I'm replacing my skills with the visuals. I'm just enhancing them. And that's the way I feel that you got to do. But Rachel, you have naturally a couple of things going for you. One, you're popular. You know, you're already there. So people know who you are. So you're going to instantly get a lot of fans there. You know, you're a pretty girl. That wins. Ugly dudes, it takes a lot more work. You know, us ugly dudes got to green screen stuff and put, you know, like right now, like there's a new thing.
From the face.
Yes. Yeah. Like there's a new thing now where like, if you have a good enough computer, like you can literally put other faces on you and Darth Vader helmets. Like Buck Rogers is the king of that, you know? And I'm like, you know, this is interesting. I think this is a way to cover your face up, but like us dudes have to do that. We have to do that, you know, but here's the thing. I mean, especially if you're talking about, you know, diversifying, there are people on Twitch making serious money, like serious money. Like if you can get in and you can get, they call them, I'm about to say raids. They call them hype trains. And if you can get in hype trains,
I don't know what that is.
Okay. So a hype train is basically, it's almost like a mad dash to support the stream. So the moment you qualify for, I think it's like 500 bits. It could be 100 bits. Bits are basically like pennies. Okay. So at 100 bits, I think it's 500, you all of a sudden get this hype train turns on. And then it's a game. So you're trying to get people to give you bits, subscriptions, and all these things. And the hype train goes up. So it goes from level 0 all the way to level 5. If you hit level 5, and it's not hard to do, okay? Literally, you're probably walking away just off that one single hype train, and it takes like, I don't know, 10 minutes typically to do a hype train. You'll make $300 to $400. One hype train.
Yo, I'm signing up for Twitch. Like, we disconnect. I'm on it. Oh my God, dude. I do these videos on YouTube, and again, I don't do it to get paid, like at all. But they take me hours, sometimes 2 weeks between editing, recording. Yes. I think I made like $45 off of a video. Literally, that's it, folks. And people think that I'm like rolling. Dude, I made like $20 on like videos that took me a week to make.
Yes,
I'm doing the wrong thing, man. Yeah. Like, holy what? Yo, you just blew my mind.
Yeah, and
I've been sleeping on this info.
Yeah, and this is the funny thing too. Like I have my partner Paris. He DJs at like 2:00 in the afternoon. Okay, he doesn't get a huge amount of followers. He's got like 30 loyal people. But every time he's on the iRig, there you go.
To get an iRig, I got it. I got a camera. I got an iRig. You know.
There you go.
Okay, sorry.
But every time it's okay. But every time he's on, people are just throwing him money. Here's $5. You know, here's $10. Here's a subscription. Like subscriptions are huge right now, especially in September because they're discounted. So they normally range at about $5.99 for a subscription every month. But right now they're like $3.99. So for a lot of people, that's super, super cheap. You know, people are looking at like tipping and giving money to the DJ. It's almost like buying the DJ a drink. Like, that's the thing. Here, let me buy you a drink. So that's how it kind of started. So people would buy a subscription or gifting subscriptions. Gifting subscriptions are huge. And it means nothing to the person doing it. Like, you walk in and you're like, hey, I'm in this stream, and here's 5 subscriptions. And you just buy 5 subscriptions, you throw it out, and then like 5 random people get a subscription to that account. But you look good because you're like, hey, look at me, you know, like making it rain in here with subscriptions. Right. And it's just a cool thing. Like, I try to gift my friends, especially ones that are like newer to it. It's like, hey, throw them some when they hit like, 1,000 subscribers. I'm like, hey, here's a 5-pack. And it's just an easy way. You can also gift your own subscriptions. This is the thing that people don't know. If you gift your own subscriptions to the people that are watching you, you'll get that money back. Yeah, it'll be less, 30%, but you'll get that money back. So it's like you're investing in yourself. Now you give those people who have the subscription a reason to come back, because now, they don't have to wait for a commercial. Because once they're a subscriber, they no longer see the intro commercial that everybody sees every time they go to a different stream. If you're a subscriber, you don't see it. You go straight into it. You also have access to all of the emotes. Emotes are the thing. Now, you've been on Twitch, but I don't know how much. Customizing your emotes and making it about the people involved in your stream, the subscribers, and then posting your emotes, like that's what it's all about. Like, I have mine. If anybody's following me right now, throw up my Terry Talks emotes. Throw them in the chat right now, and then it'll just start to populate there, and it's just a cool thing. Now, that's just you on your channel, okay? The most important part of DJing on Twitch is the raids. The raids are everything for DJs right now on Twitch. And you know what a raid is, right? Okay, you sure? You're freezing on me.
Yeah. I was just going to say that one more time.
Okay, I was going to say, so the raids, raiding a channel is the most important part of Twitch and why DJs like it so much. Because you can do what we're doing besides like the emotes. You can do that on Mixcloud. You can do that on Play DJ, all of these channels, and you can actually make some money. But the raids literally separated from the entire planet on what it does. So basically, right now, we're in here. Let's see, there's 115 people on the stream, and I don't know how many people are on the channel itself. I think there's probably like 60 people. Okay, so when we're done with this show, and I hang up on everybody else, YouTube goes away, Mixcloud goes away. But everybody on here, I can send them to a completely different channel. And now I'm sending them to a new DJ, a new gamer, or whatever, and they're getting the benefit of seeing this new person. The whole crowd goes with them. So anybody that's in this chat having a conversation can literally go to the next channel and continue on. So it becomes like this huge event of sending people. And then you're also helping out that other DJ, because maybe for whatever reason, he could have 200 people, he could have 30 people, but you're helping that other DJ. Like, I rated DJ Flips yesterday, and I like to rate people. I like to rate 2 types of people. One, I like to rate people that are huge, because it gets your name out there, and if they see the raid come through, they'll be like, oh, that's great, and maybe they will be more inclined to raid you later on. So that's one thing. Also, I like to raid people that don't have a lot, like friends of mine that like maybe don't have a good name yet, and they've just come on Twitch. Like, for instance, if you would just come on Twitch and you were on, I would say, get on at whatever, and then we're going to raid you. And I would send all my people to you, then they would follow you, and then your hype would start. Okay. But also, I love to raid people that are averaging like 50, 60 people, because in order to become partner, see, it's real easy to become an affiliate. Affiliate is like, you need 50 followers, which is super easy to do. 50 followers, you need an average of 3 people on your stream, and you need to DJ for, I think it's like 500 minutes. It's something like, it's like 8 hours. It's some ridiculously small number for a rolling 30 days. So it's not even like September 1st to October 1st. It's basically when you start, it's 30 days from there. But that's easy. Getting to be partner is much harder. The hours, you have to DJ for like 25 hours for the month. But you need an average of 75 people viewing your channel. So 75 viewers all the time, always, constantly. Now, of course, you can have one day where maybe you have 60 and a day where you have 120. It'll all average out, so that's okay. But you need to have that. So what I like to do is if I see somebody that's like path to partner and they have 65 people on their stream, I will raid them, to get them above that number, and hopefully they get to partner, because partner is such a hard thing to do. You actually need people to help you. Now, I don't think you'd have a problem, honestly. The biggest people on Twitch right now are all, besides like Four Color Zach, and he's on a completely different level, are girls. Angie V. Angie V does like 600 people in her stream every time. Bella Fiasco, she's 300 to 400 people on her stream. Like, the girls run Twitch. It's facts, And if you have a good personality, Miss Ninja, DJ Miss Ninja, she's a local girl from Cali. Her streams are usually around 150 to 200. Girls run it. So, cool. I'm telling you, think about it. Yeah. And Neely Willie is saying, the raids don't count. This is true. The raids don't count, but it's not about the raid counting. It's about you getting more followers, because the more followers you have, the more likely you're going to have them come back. So your average will just go from there. So enough about, and Lady Beats.
Very cool, man. I really appreciate like this breakdown and the little navigation with this. It is, and it's a little overwhelming. You want to do it right. You want to make sure there's a lot to learn. Sure, once you get into it, it's easy. But so between that combination of like crappy Wi-Fi, not being able to kind of, at least with my current state of things, deliver the type of production that people like you are doing, and then just kind of being like, God, there's so many nuances to this. It's kind of been intimidating. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
So I guess I get that.
And that's fair. But I think for everybody, it's better to.
And that's a good point. Someone just said to have a schedule, and and since I am still working full time, I don't have as much flexibility, so
sure.
I'm not saying I couldn't make it work, but just all these compiled, I think that's the very long answer to your question before.
And that's okay. Even if you're only DJing once or twice a week, like that's enough. If you say I'm going to DJ on Tuesdays from 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock, you will hit affiliate like that, and that's only a couple hours. I mean, Mojax DJs for 2 hours, from like 2 to, actually it's only like an hour and a half, like 2 to 3:30, just on Wednesdays, and they'll do a couple of pop-ups here and there, and he's fine. His numbers are always good, always good. So the reason why I even created this morning show was because I wanted to have something more consistent, because every one of my DJing has always been like pop-ups. I think I'll get on today, and I just kind of stopped doing it, and nothing about Twitch. It wasn't Twitch's fault. It was my fault. I just kept having other things. Like I'm shooting a video and the video goes longer than I want to. And now I can't get on to the 3:30 that I said. I'm just like, I got to stop doing that. At least if I do it in the morning, I know that I'm going to be around. I'm going to wake up, I'm going to shower, eat something, and then go do my thing. And then I have the rest of the day to do whatever I want. If I want to do a pop-up, then I will. But this has been consistent for me. And I think like my numbers show it. Like right now, my viewers, and I'm sure that it's because, I have a pretty face on. My viewers I have 61 people just in Twitch right now. And that's been consistent between like 50 to 60 people on Twitch. I had the same thing with Bar yesterday. Now I have 122 people on the entire stream. Now this is where it gets frustrating, because if I just got half of those people to join me on Twitch and watch my show on Twitch, I'd be partner, because Because I have the numbers.
Right.
You know, it's frustrating. That's the frustrating thing about this.
The plea, get on it, right? I mean, here's the plea. Make it happen.
No, and I tell people all the time, look, it's like, and some people, I get it.
Why do you think they don't? Where's the disconnect? And what would you do to improve that? If there's even an answer to that.
Yeah, and I don't think there is an answer. Some people are lazy. They're just used to their thing. Maybe they go onto YouTube every morning, and it just so happens that I'm on that time. So that's when they're on. But there really isn't a reason that they can't download another app, because that's essentially what we're asking you. Just download another app and just log in. It's really simple to log in. It's easy, but some people, I don't have an answer for them. And you would think that if they're on my channel, if you're on my channel and you are supporting me, because obviously you think I'm giving you, good content on the weekly, then support me.
That's what I'm saying.
Go over to Twitch and hang out. I don't have an answer for it. I wish I did. I do get some people, like I'll get like, I don't know, 5% of the people that are on YouTube heading over. When I DJ with my son, I totally make it a push then. Like, cause it's more about my son, getting his reps and everything than it is about me. So I'm like, get over here. What are you doing? Get over here. And Lady Beats, who's my moderator, she's really good at going onto the YouTube side, but lately she's been having to work, so it's been a little hard, and I don't have another moderator. So I need another couple of moderators, because she's really good about going over. Like, she goes over to YouTube, she goes over to Mixcloud. Like, she literally is like, hey guys, I need you over on Twitch, and she'll bring people over. So I appreciate that. Like, I'm on Mixcloud right now. I had a guy message me like, hey, so do you see the comments that are on Mixcloud? Like, no. I only see them if I make it a point to bring up the Mixcloud browser, and I don't want to spend so much time looking at both of them, So yeah, this is the plea, guys. 122 people. Look, like right now, after we said that, now there's 68 viewers on Twitch, So I need to have that average 75, and what more can I ask for? I don't know. Anyway, so let's before we do, figure out if we're going to end this, let's see if there's any more questions. If you guys have any questions for Rachel, now is the time to ask the questions. Throw them in there. Let's talk about it. Let's capitalize on her being here. While we're waiting for those, let me just say some hellos to people. Chris Cray's in the house. What's going on, fam? Neely Wheelie, obviously. Diamond Lee, that's my guy right there, hanging out. Appreciate you. DJ Fudge, Ratbone, always in here. I appreciate that. Let's see, who else is in here? Tweak Music Tips. All right, still on. Hey, man, I appreciate you. Thank you for hanging out today. And that's another thing that I do want to say while I'm looking at people. DJs on Twitch support one another. And I don't know if it's the whole everybody's in the same boat now. So kind of cockiness has kind of, the ego has dropped a little bit. Mm-hmm. But like everybody seems to be down with everybody. And I haven't made as many contacts anywhere else than I have on Twitch over this quarantine. The contacts are real. And it's one of those things where it's almost like validating a little bit, because like, I'm on YouTube, I'm doing all this content. I have no idea who watches my videos and who doesn't watch my videos. Like, I got the people that comment, so I know those people, but I don't know if any super high-end quality DJs are watching my stuff. And then I happen to be on a couple of videos, and I'm like, hey guys, what's going on? Because that's the thing, you say hello when you enter a chat. And, they're like, hey man, we watch your videos. We love your videos. And I'm just like, I had no idea. Mm-hmm. So it's cool. It's validating that happens. I appreciate them. But like, yeah, the contacts are real. And I've made tons of contacts. You can make tons of contacts because of that. And, like Tweak Music Tips, I consider DJ Kova to be a friend now, mm-hmm. And I didn't know that man before this, it's been a whole new experience. So you're going to connect with people that you didn't think were possible. And it's a little addicting. I won't lie. Twitch can be a little addicting. Mm-hmm. But like Twitch is now my SiriusXM, my Apple Music, my Spotify. When I want to hear music, I go on Twitch first. I check out who's on, and then I go from there, because everybody's vibe is different. Like everybody, you can always find something cool. And that's what's cool about it. If you want to go hard, you want to do EDM style, there's a guy that's already doing that out there. Want to do drum and bass? There's a guy that's doing that. There's somebody for everybody. And that's what's cool about Twitch.
And you're supporting the industry, right? Like, some of these people, like this is their side hustle, kind of diversified income. So rather than, spend your time on Spotify or these platforms or, that don't support the people trying to navigate that, like, you get it. You're embedded in the culture and the concept and all that. And that's the way to do it. Right. So I respect that. And you're deep, right? You were so value added. Right. So I think that's why you have the support and, bringing your son in and just, you're hitting it from all angles, man. And just, it's constant value added being put out. So that's awesome.
It's one of those things. And in my mind, you got to go where your strengths are. And we were talking about diversification, and diversification is more than just money. It's more than just, all the stuff. Like, you have to diversify yourself. The more you have things to do, the more opportunities can be presented to you. Like, I could be doing this and somebody turns around and says, hey, you know what? We watch your show. We like it. We'd like you to move over here and syndicate it on some, I know I'm spitballing and who knows, but what I'm saying is, you got to start somewhere.
Dude,
and there's always opportunity.
Even look at me. 3 years ago, I don't want to say nothing, but I really wasn't. I just, it was just nothing. And then you start putting out value-added content. I just want to be helpful, a couple reviews here and there. And then now kind of just like, look at where it's brought me. It's just about being a contributing member to the general welfare of the community. I know that sounds stupid and presidential and all that, but I'm serious. Like, just be a good person, get involved, and put out good stuff.
Exactly.
That's it.
I think you nailed it. I mean, honestly, people are always like, I just need to put out stuff. I'm like, no. You don't need to put out stuff. You need to put out quality stuff. That's the key. Don't just put out BS because you need to get something on YouTube today. Do quality stuff, because sooner or later, somebody's going to take notice to you, and then they're going to say, well, let me see how they reviewed other products. Let me see how they are for a product that they don't necessarily like. And then that's going to tell me if I want this person to represent me, because that's the issue. Because like, my reviews of products, like, I'm completely honest. Like, I talk about the good points. I talk about the bad points. For a lot of companies, they don't want to hear about the bad points. And if you talk about the bad points, that's a bad thing. I don't want that. And so everybody that I've started develop, corporate relationships with, they go into it knowing that I'm going to be honest about your product. So, but I'm not going to be an asshole. Like, that's the key. I'm not going to be that guy, but I'm going to tell the truth to the people that support me, the people that have added me to their lives to get information on content, that trust me. I can't lie to these people because all of a sudden you decided to give me product.
Right. Let's just say something even pretty significant. Let's just say someone gives you a $500 microphone, right? That's not change, $500-$700. If it's not good, I'm not going to say it is. Your $600 savings that you saved me isn't going to replace the 40,000 organic reach that I had on my Facebook page. Exactly. Like, it's not worth it. I have the $600. I'll just buy it. So I think a lot of times when, we have these things to show off or whatever, people think that we're genuinely paid to say things. Guys, I can tell you between him and I, that's not the case. If it's like, actually, here's the thing. So, was it you on Quarantine DJs that told me to kind of drop the Sabine Tech Smart Mic Plus because you said go with the Rode? I think we talked about this for a while, right? Okay. Correct, yeah. So I've been having issues with this. I reached out to the company. I said, listen, I've sent you like 3 messages. You got about a week to make this right. Otherwise, I'm pulling out a follow-up video because my tutorial on how to use your shit is your most watched video you have on YouTube. Like, I've made money off of it, right? Because it's now monetized and all that. So I said, listen, unless you want to drop, hey, I'm getting digital distortion, the Bluetooth constantly drops, you better fix it. Do you see this? I got like 5 of these goddamn things to figure out a solution because they want to make it right. So I'm not going to keep pushing that video if the microphone isn't good. And now I'm at a point where I'm not happy with it, and the people are going to know. Sorry, that was a tangent, but I'm just saying.
No. You
got to keep it real. You got to keep it real.
I ran into that very same thing with the Cross Tour CT 9500, and Mojax will probably attest if he's still on. So they sent me this thing, and I used it. I didn't do a video yet because I wanted to test it, but I had a studio video where I kind of broke down everything that I use. That happened to be the overhead camera that I was using at the time. So I'm like, yeah, I use the Cross Tour. It's cool. It gets my turntables, blah, blah, blah. Then I started getting people that are like, hey man, are you having any problems? Because like, I can't get it to do what you're saying that it does, and blah, blah, blah. Now, meanwhile, I knew from the beginning that every so often it would get stupid on me and would just fail to connect to my computer. But I knew that if I just, reset it, unplugged it, replugged it, changed the cord, whatever, it would pop back on. And as long as I didn't turn it off, like, it was fine. Like, I could leave that thing on for 3 weeks and it'd be fine. Fast forward, I'm doing a video and I need to move, I need to move my overhead or whatever. It doesn't come back on. So it takes me like an hour to finally get the thing to work again. So I know some people are like, I've been having trouble, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, at that point, I'm like, hey guys, you know what? Don't buy it. People that would message me, hey, are you still using that? No, don't buy it. Don't buy it. I'm still trying to figure out what's going on. Just wait for my response. Meanwhile, I'm emailing the company. Now, before this started, emailing like crazy. Every time I would reply, they would have an answer back in like an hour. I'm like, okay. Email the company, no response. Okay, wait another week. Email them again. Hey guys, I really need you to answer me because I'm going to have to do a review to talk about this product. So I'd like to know, is there a firmware update? Is there anything that I can see that I can get it fixed? No response. So then the third time I'm like, all right guys, I'm just letting you know, I'm leaving. I'm finally going to do my review. You're not going to like it. Sorry, you didn't respond. Never got a response after that. So I left that review. And, it was the first negative review that I ever did. And I kind of felt bad about it in the beginning. But then I was like, I gave you every opportunity. Like, what else can I possibly do? Because that's the only thing that I think that a lot of companies want. If you find something that is potentially broken, they just want you to talk to them. Hey, before you say this, let me at least see if the problem is on our end or if it's on your end, and then we can go from there. And I think that's the issue. Yeah,
to give a chance to make it right, and we offer them that. And I'm a reasonable person, so absolutely, that's a professional way to handle it. And again, I have all my documentation, my email trails. So if anything wants to get brought up, you said something that wasn't true, like, I got it right here, man. I'm trying to make this right. Overall, this is a pretty boss mic. I love it, except for these two little things. So either I got a bad set or whatever it was. Let's work it out. If not, it's time for an update to the viewers, and it's that simple.
Yeah, exactly. And and I've done reviews where I've made mistakes. Like, I thought it did something or it didn't do something, and then I did it. Like, oh no, you just have to hit this and this, and then it'll pop up. I'm like, oh. So typically speaking, on the next video, there's always some sort of like sideline. Oh, hey guys, I know you guys mentioned this. This is what I found out, blah, blah, blah. Like, I always do that. Or if it's something significant, I will pin the comment on my YouTube, like right at the top. Because I know that people are going to, even though I put the thing in the description and I pin a comment, they're not going to see it and they're still going to reply. And I'm like, just look up. It's right there. And that was my VDJ one where I talked about the difference between virtual DJ and Serato and why people use it in the clubs. Like, that video, like, to this day, I still get people like, you don't even know what you're talking about. You're an asshole. How dare? And I'm like, dude, just read this. I already said that it's not that I didn't know what I was talking about, but I wasn't as educated as I thought. So I went back and educated myself. So just check those other videos. And I can't tell you how many times I get that thing. Like, I almost want to remove the video, but it still gets hits like all the time. Right. All the time. Right. So I'm like, I got to keep it up. And I don't like to remove videos. I've never removed a video because I think that
it shows your growth.
About you.
It's transparency. Yes. It shows growth. Same thing. Yeah.
So I actually, a couple of weeks ago when I first started this, I showed my first video that I ever made, and it was on a lapel mic, and it was such a crappy video. Like, everything about it was crappy. The color grade, I was like orange, and like everything was just off, and I'm just like, I'm like, but I said, the content is good. like even my first video, like I still, you know, broke it down the way it was supposed to be broken down. And it wasn't like it was bad. It just, I was you know, you try to do the YouTube thing, you watch YouTube and you're like, oh, I gotta look at that color grade. And he's got the orange and the teals and I got this. And oh, look, he's got the slow motion. Like I got to do all this stuff. And then you do it and you suck at it because it's usually your first time doing it. And then you realize I need a lot of work. So I've gotten a lot better since then, but you know, it took a while. It took a long time.
You persuaded me. So my project coming the next couple months is I was going to redo my old virtual. Actually, you know what? I just answered my own question. So I have virtual DJ 8 tutorials. Now, a lot of the features are still the same in 2021, but the skin looks dated and stuff. So I was thinking about redoing them. So if I redo them with the updated 2021, would you say delete those and just get rid of them because it's kind of irrelevant, or just leave them up? Because they're ugly. Like it was when I was learning chroma key, I was like 20 pounds heavier. Dude, they're brutal. My head is literally in like a little corner like this. Dude, it's the ugliest pile of crap I've ever produced. And I was thinking about getting rid of them, but maybe I'll leave them up. Funny. And I'll just say, here's the updated tutorial or something. Okay, I'll leave it.
Look, I'm a big fan. I enjoy kind of making fun of myself in a weird way. Like that's kind of my thing. But you have to realize, like we said, it definitely shows growth. It shows maturity. Like all of these things are a part of it. And I think people will respect you more knowing that, you know, they don't always make the best videos, but she redeemed herself on this one. What did Mojack say? Mojack said, if I ever review something and it's actually just shit, it goes back unreviewed. No time for that energy. Everything you see me review is mostly good, and I tell you the areas where it isn't. Hey, and you know what? That actually is that's a good point. And I think Mojack's might be in a slightly different level because I have a feeling that they send Mojack's product regardless. Like he'll just open up his door and there'll be like 5 boxes. Like I don't have that. Like I know when product's coming. I have never once opened my door and been like, what is this? You know what I mean? Like that's not my thing yet.
No, I ask. I'll call companies and be like, "Hey, you just dropped this. Can I get one to like review it?" And they'll be like, "Yeah, blah, blah, blah." So I'm begging for it.
Right. Exactly. So you know, so for some of these people, they do a respective review. So expect a review, and I know that. So I know that I have to put some out. But what I have been doing lately, I've actually been turning people down. If I don't find the product either something that will benefit the people watching or will benefit me specifically. Like
100%. If I don't have it in my own arsenal, I won't review it. Kind of thing. Like if I wouldn't use it myself, I won't review it.
Yeah, exactly. Like when COVID hit, I needed a USB microphone. It just so happened that somebody was like, "Hey, you want to review our microphone?" I'm like, "Hell yeah, I want to review your microphone." And I got it and I reviewed it. And to this day, which is why I stopped doing it, because to this day, I watch that video. It's not that it's bad. I found all the good points and the negative points to talk about. It's still entertaining, but I watched me in it. And there was nothing truly like captivating about me because I didn't really feel what I was talking about. So
100%.
After that, I was like, you know what? I can't do these videos anymore. And then they're like, "Hey, we want to see your product." I'm like, no, it's not worth it. It doesn't translate well on the screen because I don't believe in your product either. And so I stopped it. So, but I still have that thing. Although I did buy this Rode pod mic, which I absolutely love. This pod mic.
It's amazing.
I might do a review on this one. We'll see. But right now, this is what I'm using. I have another boom arm coming because this is crappy. It's barely hanging on. And you hear that?
So I have a quick little story about reviews. So I want to share with you the most embarrassing, awkward thing I've ever been asked to review.
Okay.
So I don't think I want to say the name of the product, but with the description I'm about to give you, it's not going to be difficult to find. So some guy reached out to me like 3 years ago and was like, "I have this new DJ table that I'm developing. It's going to be groundbreaking. You need it." And then gave me like this backhanded insult. "Well, you're a girl, so if you could use it, anybody could." And I was like, "Oh, here we go."
Wow.
So anyway, it was definitely like a backhanded compliment. or comment. So anyway, I don't review anything until I know what it is, if it's something I'd use, and if it makes sense for, what I do. So I said, send me what you got. He goes, well, it's not patented yet, so I can't send it to you. I said, well, dude, we're not having this conversation until I know, like, what the hell it is. So anyway, like 6 months had passed. He reached out again. I said, do you have something to show me? He goes, no, I don't. I said, okay, goodbye. So then a year later, he reaches out to, 2 years later, he reached out to me again. He goes, okay, I got the patents. I said, okay, let me see it. So the guy shows me this thing. It is like the most obscure, bizarre drawing I've ever seen. I can't even remotely conceptualize what it is. He goes, can we meet so I could show you in person? Because I think once you see it, you'll get it. So I said, okay, I don't want to end up in the back of somebody's trunk, woods, like duct tape to myself.
She puts the lotion on her skin.
Puts the lotion on the skin.
Uh-oh. Come back. There you go. No, wait. I think you're there now. Talk.
Okay, I'm here. Yeah, I stopped talking.
Back.
So
okay.
Okay. So and just to make sure I didn't get kidnapped and got put in a trunk, his guy rolls up and it is Wait,
hold on, Rachel. Your signal just dropped to crap, and we lost you in the trunk again. So, but we want to hear the story.
Are we good?
So I think we're good now.
Are we good?
I think we're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Worst internet in the world. I apologize. Okay. So I show up, and this guy gets out with another guy, and come to this back of this pickup truck, and they literally pull out a hospital gurney.
Oh no, we lost her at hospital gurney. Oh no! Wait, she's back. Hold on.
Dude, the suspense of this story. I'm sorry. We're gonna get through it. It's bad.
We'll see you tomorrow. Will she make it out of the hospital gurney? Come back tomorrow for the next episode. Oh, poor internet.
Ever.
Oh man. How do you even download music? Oh no. We gotta hear the story. Your internet is fighting you right now. It hates you. Here's the thing. I got a question for you, Rachel, if you can hear me. If you can do it from your phone, if your like LTE is good, get on your phone real quick. We just want to hear the story, and then we can end this. So check if you can do it from your phone. Your phone might have better service than your landline does. Shouldn't be that way, but sometimes it does. All right, we're gonna try one more time. Hey.
Okay. All right. Are we okay?
It's good.
I actually unplugged my Wi-Fi
I think
router.
We're okay.
I unplugged this fucking thing, and I think it got better. I'm telling you, it's done. Okay. So anyway, where was it? What was the last thing you heard?
Hold on. Where is your router specifically? Where is your actual router?
It's in. So I have a 3-story house, and it's in the living room in the middle floor. So I figured it would spread between the 2 floors. I don't know.
Get rid of that and get yourself a mesh system. Spend the money and get yourself like a 2-port mesh system, and it will save your life. I live on a property we have an actual secondary house, okay, that my father-in-law built. So it's a half an acre property with this. He doesn't even have internet in his house. He doesn't have internet. He doesn't have cable. We run the entire property off of mesh system. So the router is in my house. I have a mesh in my office, so it gets this side. I get a mesh in the back room, and then I have a mesh in his. He gets faster internet than I do on the mesh system.
Okay. Mesh it is. I can't stand it. I can't stand this. Okay. I appreciate it. Literally, when we hang up, I'm going to go get one.
Do it. Yeah. I use the Netgear Orbi. Those are great for me. They've worked out. I did a lot of research on it, and I just felt that they were the best ones for me. They've improved, so there's extra extra ones out there that have like, Wi-Fi 6 and all that stuff. I'm like, I don't need Wi-Fi 6 because Wi-Fi 5 is fine. I just need a good internet. So check it out. Definitely check it out. Okay, so now we're on the gurney, and see right now you're on a red bar. You're on a red bar.
All right, I'm here.
Okay, go ahead. Tell me about the gurney quickly. Oh, this is hilarious.
A guy literally pulled. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
He literally pulls out a hospital outfitted with two, I'm calling it hydraulic poles that when you hit a button, it hires or raises up this bar that's meant for you to attach your lights to, and it takes like 7 minutes to get from an actuator. That's the word I was looking for. It has these little actuators that are just like me. It literally took 10 minutes for this goddamn thing to rise, and it was a hospital gurney. That was his DJ table. Could you imagine rolling into a wedding venue with a fucking hospital gurney?
Oh, for some reason, I just thought that was a part of the story. I didn't realize that he was actually using the hospital gurney as a DJ table.
Yeah. So,
this is a travesty. Her internet is literally killing her, physically killing her right now. Oh, this is so sad. This is so sad. Well, while she's building her internet from scratch. Oh wait, there's another one on here. Hold on, let's kill this one. And let's see if this is any better. All right, you're there.
All right. I have an idea, possibly.
Okay.
What I could do is, am I here? Is it working?
I'm telling you, trust me, if you just take your phone, go up to where the strongest part of your internet is, and then just click on it from your phone, because you can still use that.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you can just click on the same link, and then you'll be on. So we'll see you in a minute once you get to a good connection. All right. We have to hear the story. It's so important that we finish the story, and I can't leave the entire conversation with it. Now, I will tell you this. It says kick the guest off the studio. There we go. Okay. I will tell you this, and I need to bring myself back so you guys don't see up my skirt. Okay. I will tell you this. There will definitely be a video edit coming that's going to end up on my IG chat, because that's pure comedy right there. So we're definitely going to do that. Call Teddy Riley. Let's see now we have to see all the comedy. Just burn the router. Agreed. We just need to get rid of it. Yeah. I think that what's going on is, I don't know if you guys ever watched those old movies and where it's like, where's the killer? The killer is in the house. Like right now, the moment she started telling that story, all of a sudden her internet got really, really bad. So I'm thinking that the dude and the fact that she hasn't come back yet, the dude is in the house with her right now. Like, how dare you? I told you that was patented, and now I got to take your life. Get a wire hanger. Remember those old school wire hangers? AOL internet. Yep, we got dial up here. This is all just classic. Meanwhile, we're going to stay on a little while longer until she gets on, and then we'll end this stream. I don't know what it is. I think it's funny because literally when I was DJing and talking, 2 hours. Now that I'm just talking, these things are going forever. This is another super long ass show. I'm not mad at it. It is what it is. And as long as the numbers are good, like I'm fine with it, but it is rather humorous that this is happening. So let's do a little room check here, and let's see who's in the room before she gets back. I know she's trying. I know she is. I have confidence in her. She'll get that back. Connecticut's sending me. Yeah, I'm hoping that the phone itself will be enough, because in reality, a lot of times the phone is enough. You can get through it. Like, I've had times when even my internet sucked in my own house, and I turn on my phone and I'm like, okay, I guess I'm working off my hotspot today. But yeah, the Orbi for me, the Orbi has been a godsend. I use my Orbi all the time. My house is long, so I was more concerned that even though the router was in the middle of the house, that I wasn't going to be able to get a definite signal. So having this satellite in my office has helped tremendously. And more importantly, I can actually hardwire through the satellite, which is what I'm doing, into the computer. So now I have a hardwired, even though it's still a wireless connection, but my Orbi is hardwired into my computer. So I'm getting like the fastest possible speeds. I'm not competing with anybody else. So I'm really happy with the Orbi. I only ever had one issue with it, and that was when I was trying to, I bought another Orbi satellite to go into my office, and I couldn't get it to connect for whatever reason. And then I updated the firmware. A new firmware came out like 2 weeks later, because I just kind of said, you know what, I'll get to it when I get a chance. I don't want to deal with it. And then I opened up the firmware, updated it, and then this one connected just fine. So I have three satellites and then one Orbi main network, and it's been really, really good. So yeah, hardwired is definitely the way to go if you can go. All right, I got Rachel back on. Looks like she's in a different part of the room, different room completely. So let's bring her back on right now so we can finish this story. All right, hey there.
I'm literally in my kitchen right now.
That's okay.
Yeah,
like, you got to go where you got to go.
All right, okay, I am so sorry like that. Okay, so I get to the parking lot. The guy opens up a truck. Him and this other dude literally pull out a hospital gurney, like not even powder coated, straight up metal, silver hospital gurney, and it's been out. Sorry, go ahead.
Was the mattress still on?
No, so it's hospital gurney, no mattress pad, but it still has like the rails and everything, and then they cut like a hole in the bottom flat bed part and put these little like buckets so you could put like a power cord in it, and then they outfitted it with these actuators that allow you to install your lights and then hit a button and they raise like up above your head so you can leave your intimidators and your stuff attached, and when the gig is done you lower the thing, you literally roll the gurney up to your truck or minivan, and then you load it into the back of the truck. And then when you're loading in, rather than using something like a rock and roller cart, you put your speakers and stuff on the gurney, and it's just like an all-in-one rolling thing.
Okay, that's a little convenient. I'm not going to lie. But it's a gurney, so that's not going to work.
It's a gurney. Could you imagine walking into a high-end venue and you're walking in with a hospital gurney?
Okay, help me out. They didn't even like put like a facade on the front to make it look pretty. I mean, literally just
you could, but he's selling you the gurney table.
It's interesting because I've never seen any advertisements for this anywhere.
I don't think you're going to.
That is crazy. So what'd you say?
Okay, so I said, honestly, dude, this isn't ready for market. I gave him some $1 million advice on what he could, because it wasn't a terrible idea. It needed to be finessed a little more. It was very, it's like going to Shark Tank, right? He had the idea, and then you meet in front of the sharks and they tell you how to bring it from here to here. So I gave him $1 million advice about, powder coating some things, make sure we have this available. He didn't want to hear any of it. He's like, they're already being manufactured. I just need you as a girl to show that even a girl could use it.
Oh my God.
And I was like, dude, like, come on. You got to be a little bit more respectful than that. And I'm not even like a petite girl. Like, I literally was lifting up like KW 181s, like no problem. I have 153s. Like I do work. I'm not petite. I'm really strong. So even if you wanted a female to showcase that this could work, like I'm not it. But anyway, so the most embarrassing thing that I've ever been asked to do a review on was for a hospital gurney DJ table.
That's insane.
I'm not even
what, though? That still would have made a great vlog. That would have made a great vlog. So we have a poll up. I don't know if you can see the poll, but the poll is: will Rachel get better internet? And you can say yes, you can say no, or you can say it puts the lotion on the skin. So you get to decide what she gets.
Literally, when we disconnect, I'm going to buy that. You'll probably have to remind me because I forgot what it is already. What's that thing I need?
It's the Netgear Orbi. Netgear Orbi.
No, it was a different thing. It began with an M.
No, it's a mesh router. But the Netgear Orbi is the one that I use, that I stand by. But there's several out there. Every major router company right now has a mesh system. So, but I just have had really good luck with the Orbi. There you go. And that one right there, that's the Wi-Fi 6 version. So that one, you can probably get a better deal on the Wi-Fi 5 version, and it'll be super cheap. Like you can get, I think the satellite's like, you get one router and 2 satellites because you're going to need it because you have 3 floors. So
Done.
you're going to keep the one in the middle and then have the one top and bottom. You'll never have a bad internet
Look,
again.
live product review, product sold right here, right now.
Well, you don't really have a choice. I could have sold you the cheapest product ever, and it would still be like, it's better than what I have right now.
Yeah.
So, anyway. All right.
Okay,
hey,
cool.
Look. Wait, did we get an answer yet? Let's see here. We have 80% says that Rachel will get new internet. We have 4% that says Rachel will not get new internet, and another 19% says it puts the lotion on the skin. So it's anybody's bet who's gonna win this. I hope you do get new internet because obviously that's the only thing we got to deal with. But like right now, your internet looks good. Maybe you should just do everything from the kitchen. Like I'm impressed.
Yeah, all right.
Full bars. So all right, look, I've held you on way too long. But I really appreciate you coming on today.
Of course,
hopefully we can get you back. Yeah, no, I think it's been a really, really good show. I've actually had 3 good shows so far. Whoopig was last minute, but his was great. Bars was great. Yours was great. Jay Book was the first one that I asked to come on. And he was like, yeah, I want to get on. And then he couldn't get on for whatever reason, which is why I brought Whoopig on in the first place. And now Jay Pug is going to be like the last of like the quarantine guys, because Rick Webb works during the day, so I doubt he's going to be able to get on. Mm-hmm. But he's going to be the last of the quarantine. So before I start bringing on new people, Jay, I hope you're ready, man. These have all been good. The numbers have been good. They've been steady. So anyway, the results have finally come in. All right, 24 people voted. Rachel will get new internet. So
I'm getting new internet.
That's the poll. All right, guys, we're gonna let Rachel go. We honestly appreciate you hanging out today. It's been great. It was a great show.
It was awesome.
And yeah, next time, once you get your new internet and stuff like that, maybe a month or so from now, we'll be like, let's get you back on. You'll probably have like 15 green screens and like I won't even know where you are because your internet will be so good. So, right. Rachel, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. Pleasure.
Yes. All right. We'll see you next time.
All right. Bye.
All right. Let me get my skirt back on so you don't see that side. All right, there we go. I got dogs barking. That was a fantastic interview. Rachel, as I said before, I said it when I was on bar. Rachel is all about her stuff, man. She's so professional, and I knew she was going to be a great guest because she knows her stuff and she's great at it. So make sure if you're not following her on the fan page, if you're not following her on Facebook, that you do that. Follow her on Twitch because apparently she has a Twitch account. So we hopefully she'll post it in the comments what her Twitch account is, so then all the people that are on here right now can at least follow her. And then and also make sure you follow her on YouTube. That she's got 5,500 followers and growing. So let's get those numbers up there. All right. So before we end this, because we are now at 12 o'clock. And I do have other stuff that I personally need to do because, I can't be here all day, even though I'd love to. I'm just going to, you hear the dogs barking? That's what I deal with. I deal with dogs barking. My next door neighbor is great, They have small dogs. I have small dogs, and they literally just bark at each other from behind the gate. Not in an angry way, but they bark. So I'm just going to check through here real quick. And let's see if there's anything I need to talk about. It looks like we are good. Can have... yeah, T Diesel's right. I think that he might be right. Like, I think that we have to just keep inviting Jay, and then Jay says I can't make it, and then I invite somebody else on, and they're amazing, and then we just keep going that way. So Jay will be the guy that just never comes on, but people still know him because I talk about him on every show. All right, guys, look, that is going to do it for me. Honestly, I didn't know what to think. This is the second day I've done an entire stream without DJing, just kind of playing background music, copyright free, friendly background music, and it's been amazing. So before we leave, we got to raid somebody. So let me get some music on, and let's see who we are going to raid. All right, who do we have on here? We got DJ Scene. DJ Scene's been on, so I think he's done. You know what? Why don't we raid Foreguard? You know what? Maybe we shouldn't raid Foreguard. Now that I think about it, the last time we raided Foreguard, Tweak Music Tips raided Foreguard, and Foreguard raided Tweak Music Tips at the exact same time. So basically, it was like this raidception, and we ended back up on Tweak Music Tips where everybody was leaving. It was super, super bizarre. Sean Cap, I did not miss the music. I did not miss the music. Thank you so much. Oh, Remark's on. Well, if Remark's on, then we gotta hit Snapback. All right, guys. Remember, all the people on Twitch, stay on so we can do this raid. Everybody else on YouTube, on Mixcloud, and on Facebook. Unfortunately, this is where we part. And this is the reason that Twitch is as good as it is, because, well, we keep the party going. We keep the party going, and that's what's most important. And that is all the DJs, everybody that's on, supports one another. DJ Bad in the house. What's going on, man? That's my fam right there. Make sure you follow DJ Bad. But everybody on here supports one another, and that's why we're going to go raid Snapback right now. For everybody else, YouTube, all those people, we'll see you next time. Icy Ice in the house. Hey, man. That's Snapback fam right there. So we're going to go ahead and raid Snapback right now. Hang with me. Don't leave. When you go to Snapback, it's all old school hip hop. It's good times. If it's not your vibe, you bounce, but you bounce after we do the raid. Don't bounce before the raid, because this is what we do. We support each other. All right, y'all. We'll see you next time. Raiders, stick with me. Stick with me. We'll be right back. All right, let's do this. All right, people. All right, for all my raiders.